It is 4 p.m., the sun set at 2:40 today, and the air temperature is minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Welcome to Fairbanks. Minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit was the coldest temperature ever recorded in the United States. And it occurred 160 miles north of me at a place called Prospect Creek. But although no permanent settlement has ever existed at Prospect Creek, considering it was only a temporary camp for the Trans-Alaskan pipeline, I am currently in the nearest city, and it is really cold. Welcome to Fairbanks, Alaska, where the mercury has dipped below minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit on 12 separate occasions, where the sun has literally just risen, even though it is 11:01 a.m., and where with a mean daily January low of minus 17.2 degrees Fahrenheit, it isn't only the coldest city in the United States. Fairbanks is actually the third coldest community with a population over 5,000 residents anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. Only the Canadian cities of Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, and Iqaluit and Nunavut experience colder winters, both of which I would love to visit, so let's hit 10,000 likes today, and I will. Now, below me is the Chena River. As you can see, it is almost completely frozen over already, even though the day is December the 8th, 2025. So winter hasn't even officially started yet because the air temperature today is minus 18.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you look at the temperatures, by next week, it will be dipping below minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm from northern New York originally.
Oh, so you guys both moved here?
Yeah.
I moved from Seattle. A lot of people come up with the military and stay, or come back because they like it.
So I've been in Alaska for 53 years. How long have you been in Alaska?
Since 1973.
Same time.
Same time.
Yeah.
And so what keeps you guys here?
The weather.
The weather. Gorgeous.
It's minus 18 degrees.
But the wind's not blowing and the sky is beautiful and the air is like going to an oxygen bar. You just breathe and you are oxygenated.
It's an acquired taste living in Fairbanks.
It is an acquired
People
taste.
either love it or hate it, but the people in Fairbanks are wonderful, and it is really beautiful.
Yeah, no, like the sky is just
Is the
painted.
sky
It's a painted
gorgeous?
color
It
all
is. The
around.
sunsets, the sunrises.
Even if you don't see the aurora, our skies are just... And then, of course, by March, we get a lot of light. And by the end of April, you don't see the stars.
It's already like almost 24 hours.
Until the middle of August.
That's a slight exaggeration, but the days get a lot longer faster.
What's the coldest temperature you guys remember?
Minus 50 on New Year's Eve of the millennium.
So 2000.
Yeah.
It was
minus
air
50.
temperature minus 50.
Yes, and we were all outside celebrating around a giant bonfire. How about you? What's your
Were you
coldest?
here the epic winter of 1989? I think you
yes,
were.
I was.
You were.
Yes,
but
I
you're
was.
up in the hills.
It has a name, the epic winter of 1989. What does that entail?
You can look that up. In 1989, we actually had ice fog, which is unheard of for where we live, and it was about 66 below.
What does ice fog mean?
All the car exhaust freezes, and
Yeah.
it's not
But
so
see,
bad
we
now.
live over there in the
Yeah.
hills that way. And so because we're up out of town, we generally don't get ice fog like they do in downtown.
Okay.
And it's not as bad with more modern vehicles.
We're not going to spend a lot of time walking today, but
Yeah.
it's good to get out. That's the thing about winter in Fairbanks. You have to get out every day because the darkness really gets
Well, you only get 4 hours of daylight, so you got to make the most
right,
of it.
but have you noticed all the civil twilight?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 hours sunrise, 2 hours sunset.
So it's
Yeah.
really not like dark.
Our usable
Yeah.
No, it's not.
light. And then if the moon's out, it's so bright at night.
So what are you doing here?
Just making a video on the coldest city in America.
Oh, I love it.
Then
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go to Yakutsk. I think that's the coldest city.
Yeah.
They wear fur there, though. They don't mess around.
You know, have you been to Morris Thompson Visitor and Cultural
I'm
Center?
about to go there right after
Good,
this.
because
Yeah.
you know you can go. There's a native program there. You can
Okay.
talk to some people who have been here for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Our native Alaskan people.
Yeah, tough people. Yeah.
So
They
yeah.
have trees in the interior, so they had wood heat. Up on the coast, they had to use seal oil because
Yeah.
there's no burnables really.
Have you guys been up to the North Slope or any of the northern communities?
You have.
I have. Yeah.
Is it colder there?
Well, I was there in the summer. You know, the coastal areas tend not to be as cold as the interior because we don't get any moderation from any big bodies of water, even frozen ones. The interior of Alaska is really the coldest in the state.
I mean, the river's already frozen. It's not even the official start of winter yet.
No, it isn't, but that December 21st start of winter is a misnomer up here because it's been winter for a while.
So it's what, like October 1st is the start of winter?
We usually figure freeze up about the middle of October.
Typically, and we have snow on the ground around Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. That's typically when snow stays.
Hand warmers. See, we're so tough.
Yeah. Oh, you guys don't even have. You have the proper gloves, but you just have the little.
We're not going very far.
We're not. We're just going from Morris Thompson this way around and over to
the hot tea place.
over River City Cafe, have our coffee, walk back, get our sunlight so that we get our...
Yeah, no, that's a nice thing about here is it's always sunny in the winter.
It's pretty bright, which is nice because when the sun starts coming back at 7 minutes a day, by February, it's pretty bright.
Fairbanks is one of those places where you keep track of how many minutes you're either losing or gaining a day. I mean, that'll be on the nightly news where, the weather, blah, 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 but we're gaining 7 minutes a day or we're losing 5 minutes a day.
What's your guys' favorite thing about living here? And then what's something you wish was a little different?
The people are wonderful and the physical beauty. And something that I wish were different, I can't think of a single thing.
You think it's all perfect exactly how it is?
Well, what about you?
Oh, less mosquitoes.
That's a good one. I didn't even think about that.
So summer's worse here than the winters.
Well, if you get out, you better be prepared to be attacked. There will be insane quantities of mosquitoes. And what I really like about here, so yesterday afternoon, I showed up at the high school at 1 p.m. and watched an amazing performance of the Nutcracker done by our local ballet school. I had to leave early because I had to go warm up to sing with the symphony, and just the privilege of being able to sing with a really good volunteer symphony and an amazing conductor in Fairbanks, and we actually have an amazing concert hall, and people are attracted to come here and perform because wow, I think I'll go to Fairbanks,
It's just like you. Let's go to Fairbanks and see what's up about that place.
People really enjoy being part of community events, and we're a small enough city that you can be a part and feel like you're really contributing.
That's true.
And the opportunities for kids are good because it's not an intense competition to get a spot dancing in the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
They will make a spot for every child who tries out. Outdoor programs in the summer, ski programs in the winter. Oh, you have something else to
Hey. Yeah. What were your guys' names?
I'm Susan.
Susan. Irene. Nice to meet you. Mango.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
We'd be out skiing if it were warmer, but it's not, so we're not.
That's the thing also, because it's so dry, you can never make snowballs or anything, right?
In the fall sometimes, but
only in the fall. Okay.
yeah, most of the time, no.
But it's great for shoveling because it's so dry.
Yeah.
You shovel with a broom.
Well, that was perfect that we ran into those ladies who have lived in Fairbanks for over 50 years, because today I want to find out, why does anyone, much less nearly 100,000 people in the metro area, choose to live in Fairbanks despite the gruelingly long, dark, frigid cold winters? And in just a little bit, I'm going to be meeting up with a local Tony who will explain why he moved here nearly a decade ago, as well as take me around a few of the surrounding areas to show what winter life in the Alaskan interior is all about. Here it seems there is a memorial from World War II, Alaska and Siberia. Fairbanks and Alaska overall were very important strategic points during the Second World War. And speaking of location, as we pass by these charging blocks to make sure that your car battery does not completely freeze in these frigid temperatures, Fairbanks is located at the junction of the Chena and Tanana rivers in central Alaska, around 120 miles south of the Arctic Circle. Because of this, there's only around 4 hours of daylight this time of year. But Fairbanks isn't just dark and cold, it's also wildly remote. It's around 300 miles from the Canadian border and over 2,000 miles from the lower 48 states. The nearest city or town with a population greater than 5,000 residents is Wasilla, Alaska, at around 315 miles or a 5.5 hour drive south. And after Anchorage, which is around 360 miles or a 6.5 hour drive away, the next closest city with a population greater than Fairbanks is Prince George, British Columbia in Canada, at nearly 1,700 miles or a 30-hour drive away. Yeah, Alaska is massive and virtually empty. It's by far the largest state at 665,000 square miles, or slightly larger than Iran, the 17th largest country. But while Iran has 92 million people, as we come up upon this moose antler arch made entirely out of moose antlers, I guess it's made up of caribou antlers as well. But Alaska's population is just 740,000 in the entire state, meaning its population density of 1.1 people per square mile isn't just the lowest of any state. It's actually 5 times emptier than Mongolia, the current emptiest country. There is a sign next to the frozen Chino River saying no overnight camping. I am sure they will not need to be worried for at least the next few months. Now, you might think Alaska overall is already incredibly empty, and it is. But interior Alaska is a lot emptier. The vast majority of Alaskans actually live in either the Anchorage metro or somewhere along the coast where the climate is a lot milder, meaning that Fairbanks, with around 32,000 people in the city proper and 95,000 in the metro area, is actually the only population center in Alaska's interior, and thus the only trade and transportation center for an area that stretches 230,000 square miles, or around the size of Texas. Because of this, it has a lot more amenities than most cities its size would, including this very nice building, the Morris Thompson Cultural and Visitor Center. There is also an international airport, a full-service hospital, a major research university, and even Costco and REI. I am starting to get very, very cold. I feel the tips of my fingers having that frostbite set in, so I'm gonna go into the warmth of this museum. Wow, this is actually really, really nice in here. How we live, the people and the land. Life about the interior Athabascans. Yeah, so there are so many different indigenous cultures that have lived in Alaska for thousands and thousands of years. And some traditional clothing, tools, snowshoes. So this is Pat?
Yes, because of the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, we had to become sedentary. We are nomadic. So we have 42 villages that fit in this brown part. We have 20 languages within Alaska. This is where we are. You're on Tanana lands. This is the Upper Kuskokwim. This is the Lower Yukon. Over here is the Koyukon people.
So do you know around the area that your family migrated from?
We're not all 100% Alaska natives because of miners and prospectors. I am a Nupiaq, Koyukon, part Russian, and part Tlingit. I have relatives pretty much this whole area.
In your family, has anything been passed down about how to survive such extreme conditions?
Back then it was more survival mode. When I was in school, our school was 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. One was kindergarten to 4th grade, and then 4th grade to 8th grade. Mm-hmm. And then you had to leave for boarding school. So a lot of our people went to high school in Sitka.
Oh, really? That's far.
Or else some people went to Chemawa, which is in Seattle, Oregon area. Or else some people were sent to the city, which is Fairbanks. Back in the day, it didn't have electricity or running water. Mm-hmm. So it was more survival. It's even worse when you come from a family of all girls, so you have to know how to work. And you have to do the work. But we use everything. This is halibut. This is beaver, sheared beaver. This is moose hide. This is caribou hair. This one here is fish vertebrae. We make our own beads. This is what we usually do. And you just hang it up.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
cool.
also have an elders cultural program. The older generation that's teaching the younger generation of things that they may have lost.
Are you hopeful for the future generations that a lot comes back?
It's all how you raise your kids. It starts with your parents. I'm trying. It's a little difficult sometimes because we're different tribes. Our environment sometimes doesn't make us the best of friends. Mm-hmm. But we have to learn how to live amongst each other. Mm-hmm. But it's hard because our fishing has been closed on the Yukon River for maybe about 6 years. So kind of hard for me to like anybody from this area because it's like they're the ones that has the fishing trawlers, and then there's commercial fishing at the mouth of the Yukon. But they shut us down on the Yukon River, and we can't even feed our own family. And going to the Yukon River to get it our whole life, and then to all of a sudden not be able to do that kind of pisses you off.
So is that communities down there deciding that, or the Alaska government overall deciding that?
There's a treaty with Canada, and there is so much fish that has to go up, and so they shut us down.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
And that's our lifeline. And then you throw in the federal government that wants to regulate you on everything, and probably even start regulating us on using the Yukon River.
Do you guys have some representation in government as well? Not really? Yeah, I'm sorry. Damn, that's... Yeah, no, it's I've always known it's
very
sad.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful no matter which area you go to. But, yeah, we have our issues.
What is your favorite thing about living here?
I like the cold.
You like the cold, yeah.
Yeah. I thrive in the cold. We're in the middle of Alaska, and in Fairbanks, we could get to 100 in the summertime. Mm-hmm. But in the wintertime, it's going to get 40 below here by Wednesday.
Yeah. You're excited for the 40 below.
It don't bother me. I mean, even the dark don't bother me. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up with it. And then there's a lot of people that don't adjust the sunlight summertime when it's 24 hours. I could sleep with the window wide open and it don't bother me. Everybody is like blacking out their windows. And
I mean, you're used to it. It's been you,
it's
yeah.
Just me. Yeah. You're in the middle of nowhere, right in the middle of Alaska, and you're riding on a snow machine, and you stop. Yeah. And you hear nothing. Absolutely nothing in the middle of nowhere. But we have issues nowadays, so I hardly ever go home.
And what village did you grow up in?
Beaver. Beaver is 100 miles north of here. But my mom passed away, so I hardly ever go home.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not like how it was. They have electricity now. They have running water. And my sister walks around with a cell phone.
They have cell service in Beaver.
Yes.
Oh.
And I've never had that. And then plus we have issues with substances and alcohol. It's just because of trauma. Meth is bad now. A couple of people that passed away from fentanyl. It's pretty sad. But like I said, you know, it starts with your parents. I grew up in the village with a lot of alcoholism, so I'm pretty careful how I raise my son. Keep him motivated. He plays basketball.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pat.
You're welcome.
I am so glad we got to meet Pat and learn a little bit about traditional Alaska Native life. And after I stopped filming, she actually told me that when they were kids in the village, they would whistle under the northern lights, and their whistles would literally make the lights dance. I am so excited to hopefully be able to... Ooh, I just almost slipped on some ice. I am not excited about that. I am, however, very excited to hopefully see the northern lights. I'll be going up to Chena Hot Springs tomorrow night. Over here, however, there's a brewery. Actually looks pretty nice inside. Now, Fairbanks is actually one of the best places to view the auroras due to the extremely dry, cold air in the wintertime, which actually makes it very difficult for clouds or fog to form. I will demonstrate with some of this snow right here. But as you can see, it is always completely powdery. You cannot make snowballs just due to how dry it is. Other similarly positioned northern cities in Europe, such as Reykjavik, Iceland, or Trondheim, Norway, are actually much warmer than Fairbanks due to the Gulf Stream, and thus they're often covered in clouds. As you can see here, there is not a cloud in the sky. As in Fairbanks, there's around 2,100 mean sunshine hours per year, as opposed to Reykjavik, for example, which only gets 1,300 mean sunshine hours per year. Now, the park I just walked along the river was up that way, just to give you a little sense of the bearings. There is a Chevron gas station, $3.59 per gallon. It's a little more expensive than most places in the US. I was just in Los Angeles before this, however. In Los Angeles, I think the cheapest gas I saw was like $4.89 per gallon. Also, I wanted to show you guys a parallel. In Fairbanks, it is minus 16 Fahrenheit. The low was minus 23 today. In Los Angeles, it is currently 79 degrees Fahrenheit. 79 minus 23. That's an over 100 degree temperature swing from where I was yesterday to today. But this is the intersection of First Avenue and Noble Street. I have to be careful once the lights turn red, as a lot of cars actually slip through intersections here. I believe downtown is only 2 or 3 blocks by 4 or so blocks. It's not very big. This building is the Lacey Street Theater, built back in 1939. The cinema actually closed down in 1980, but the historic building was turned into the current ice museum in 1992. Here is the Alaska court system, however. This is one of 3 main Supreme Court buildings in Alaska. But as we head closer to the main area of downtown, as we pass by the Fudge Pot, a local Fairbanks establishment, downtown kind of seems empty. I think that's the main street. We'll cut across there in just a little bit, 2nd Avenue. There's a hotel here, and this is Golden Heart Plaza. What a shot right there, just looking at the gas refinery next to this statue frozen in snow, and a clock tower with the chimes going off. First impressions of the downtown, there are not too many people walking out and about. Most people, I would imagine, drive everywhere. I have seen a lot of parking lots. There's probably just as many parking lots downtown as there are historic buildings. But considering that each year has an average of 220 days below freezing and 110 days below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, I kind of understand why every person here drives just about everywhere. We are now pretty much at the edge of downtown. I wanted to show you guys this bridge, all of the different state flags, and then yeah, it just Chino River sign. Chino River is certainly frozen right now. And then you just go in that direction. It's about 500 miles until you hit the Arctic Ocean. For the next 14, 15 hours of driving on the Dalton Highway, there are actually only 3 tiny communities, the largest of which, Coldfoot, has a population of 34. We are not going to head north today, however, as I do not trust my winter driving skills. So instead, we will head south to the main intersection, 2nd and Cushman. There's a couple of bars. There's this place called the Co-op, 21 shops, a bunch of restaurants. There's even a Moldovan spot. There's a bowling alley. It's a nice little Main Street area, but apart from a bar, a bookstore, a fur store, I guess a restaurant, and then this Co-op plaza downtown, there are not many businesses, at least in the downtown area. From my research, it appears a lot of people in Fairbanks stay on the outskirts and only really use the city to gather supplies. Costco is apparently packed. We will be going to Costco as well as the big box store later. So let's head into the Co-op. Oh, you got it? Okay. Thank you. River City Cafe. We have some taxidermied bears, a moose, a dog museum. Quite the contrast. It's completely empty outside because of the cold, and then you come in here, it's quite a few people. A free community museum. Euro-style grocery store. Wow, this is, really did not look like much on the outside, but it's warm, quite cozy. We are coming out now on the south side of the building, 3rd Avenue, which is the 2nd main street here in downtown. I see a Bon Thai restaurant, which actually has quite a few people inside. If we were to go east, however, there is a bank and not much else. West, there appears to be an empty storefront there, or potentially some apartments. Lycan, a living and life store, as well as the Fairbanks Children Museum. So these were the 2 main streets in downtown Fairbanks, the 2nd largest city in all of Alaska, and there really isn't that much to the downtown area. In front of me, however, is the old Federal Building, built back in 1933. At the time of its construction, it was actually the northernmost concrete building in the world. It originally housed the federal courthouse as well as the post office. And sure, there are many places that look like this in the lower 48 states, but it blows my mind that back in 1933, when this was a much more extreme and remote place to live, when there wasn't even a road to get to Fairbanks, just getting all the supplies up here, that's an impressive feat. Next to it is the Fairbanks Children's Museum, which is one of many museums in Fairbanks, but we have reached the end of the main business areas of downtown. So it really was about 2 blocks by 2 blocks, and I think there are actually more parking lots than buildings. To get into the specifics of why so many people drive here, it's because the average wintertime highs in Fairbanks are around -5 degrees Fahrenheit. The average daily low in the winter is around -20, and it often gets a lot colder. On average, there are 10 days per year where the air temperature dips below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. And the cool thing about -40 is it's actually the temperature at which Celsius and Fahrenheit meet. And going off of -40 and other just crazy weather statistics about this city, there have been 20 separate occasions where the air temperature dipped below -40 degrees for 10 consecutive days. Oftentimes the wind chill will be -50, -60 at those temperatures. And on 8 separate occasions, the air temperature dipped below -50 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 consecutive days. I do not want to know what -50 degrees Fahrenheit feels like. That is something I am okay never experiencing. But on January the 14th, 1934, the record low air temperature was recorded in Fairbanks, -66 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, some remote mountain passes, northern Siberia and Antarctica have all recorded even colder temperatures. But in the Western Hemisphere, there are only 8 communities with more than 500 residents that have ever recorded a temperature below -60 Fahrenheit. Now, since Fairbanks is far from the coast, it actually gets quite hot in the summertime. The record high was 99 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average summertime highs usually hover in the low 70s. Because of this, the mean daily year-round temperature of 28.3 degrees Fahrenheit is actually quite a bit warmer than some of Alaska's more northern communities, such as Utqiagvik or Barrow, where the mean daily year-round temperature is just 13.7 degrees Fahrenheit. But even though there's permafrost year-round up there and no trees can actually grow, Fairbanks' winters are often colder. The average low temperature for the year is minus 45.8 degrees Fahrenheit in Fairbanks. As we see, there is some public transportation in the city, whereas in Barrow, the average lowest temperature of the year is just minus 42.7 degrees Fahrenheit. And the coldest ever air temperature recorded in Barrow was only minus 56 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to quickly cross the road and try not to slip as we come to the very southern edge of downtown. There is McCafferty's Coffee Shop. I was in there earlier today. It's actually quite cozy, great cup of coffee, which is necessary for many Alaskans when you only have 4 hours of daylight and extremely frigid temperatures. Look at this big crow. Now, Tony just messaged me that he's ready to show me around, and I cannot wait to get into the heat of his car. It is freezing right now. But the final place I wanted to show y'all is the City Hall of Fairbanks. This building was built in 1934 as the city's original school. It also remained the only school in the Alaska Territory until 1951. And the City Hall moved there in 1994. But this is Tony. Good to meet you, dude.
What's happening, brother? You doing all right this morning?
It's a little cold.
I think we're like negative 16 or 17. So what do you want to check out first?
Guess ask you, where are we going first?
Well, you said you wanted to do big box stores. That will be really quick because we've only got a few of them.
What, a Walmart, Fred Meyer, Costco? There's an REI, right?
Oh yeah, we definitely have
That's crazy for a city this small.
We've got enough of what we need, but not too much of what we don't need. As of last year, we even got our first Amazon distribution center up here.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Look at us.
Is there 2-day Amazon Prime here?
No. I don't know about 2 days. We get Prime, and that's a bonus. When I first moved up here, if you ordered something on Amazon, more times than not, it seems like it would take maybe a little over a week. But now it's some things you can get overnight if it happens to be in the distribution center.
So we have the heat cranking on full blast. The temperature I'm looking right now, minus 24 degrees. I guess my first question is just, why do you live here?
Oh, there's so many reasons. You know, you get sticker shock from the temperature, but if you feel outside, it's not windy and it's not wet. So it isn't as bad as it seems.
No, see, this is the warmest minus 20 I've ever experienced.
For real, though, like you said, you've lived outside of Boston. When it's windy and wet and crappy, that's brutal. And it feels like the wind will cut through all of your layers.
And like I've been to Montreal and Winnipeg in the winter. I'd say those are way worse than this right now. But it gets much colder.
It does. It will typically get colder. This has been kind of unseasonably warm. Like last year at Thanksgiving, I did a tour with a lady and her daughter, wonderful couple from Mexico, so they were definitely not prepared. But it hit negative 37 on Thanksgiving. And this year it wasn't. This year at Thanksgiving was like 15 above. And I've asked people that have been here a lot longer than me, because in Alaskan standards, I haven't been here for very long. I moved up here in 2017, where they're like, oh, it used to be negative 40 by now. It used to be negative 50 by now. But
they wish it was negative 40 and negative 50 by now still?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, because the colder it gets, the less likely it is to get rain to put a sheet of ice on top of this. So like when we get 15 and 20, we get a little nervous. Like last year in January, it got barely up to freezing, just enough for it to rain for about an hour and put a sheet of ice on everything.
And then it's just like car accidents left and right?
Everywhere. Chena Hot Springs Road, it's a 56-mile road just going straight to the resort. Yeah. The day that it did that in January, there was, I think, 24 accidents that required assistance between 8 a.m. and noon just on that one road.
Yeah, no, this is extreme. Like, I've been to cold places, I've been to remote places, but this is like the next extreme.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you need to be a very extreme person to be able to live someplace like this?
No, you need to be a rigid person. You need to be able to deal with things as they come to you. My brother told me a long time ago, he moved up here before I did, and one thing that he said to me that stuck, he kind of likes that the winters get really bad because it keeps people away that don't have any grit to them.
I mean, that's what Prince said, right, in Minnesota.
You've got to be a little bit tough to live here. So it doesn't have to be extreme. I mean, we've got mechanisms. You see, warm building, warm car, warm store.
Back in the day, that when people first came here, they were tough.
That's
people.
Nuts, man. Yeah, those they were crazy. You've got to be partially insane to enjoy Fairbanks, and most of us are overqualified.
Well, I guess, your brother was here before you moved here. Is that the main reason you moved here?
Yeah, my brother came up for a mission trip when we were in high school, like 100 years ago. It was cool. I was supposed to come with him, but I was in college at the time. But we thought, maybe a cool idea. Once we get out of school, we should move up to Alaska. We got out of school and we didn't quite move up then. He moved up a couple years later. I stayed in Carolina, did the suburban thing for a couple years. You know, I got to a point in life where there had to be more to life than work and pay HOA dues. He moved up 2007 or 8. He'd been trying to get me to move up here with him the whole time. We came up to visit in 16.
So you visited first?
Yeah.
Did you visit in the winter first?
Yeah. For that reason, for the exact reason you're thinking. Actually, this time, like this week in 2016, just to see what the temperature, what it was going to be like. I think in that trip even, it hit like negative 30, 37. I remember I saw a picture.
Oh, there's Costco right there.
There's Costco.
Looks like you guys got all the chains. You got O'Reilly, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Yeah, this has to be the smallest city I've ever seen a Costco.
Yeah, but I would contend that the people here rely on that Costco more than most other places. Like, we have other stores. We have Freddy's and we have Wally's, but Costco is different. A lot of people up here stockpile their groceries, especially if they're living remotely, if they're off grid. Oh yeah, they've got to. And they do bush orders. So people will come into town, buy thousands of dollars worth of stuff and then ship it out to the village. So that Costco is...
buy bush plate.
Oh yeah.
So that's like super expensive, no?
It is, but it's kind of adjusted into the lifestyle. And here's REI. Love us some REI.
Wow. I mean, it's everything I need. I got an REI, got a Costco.
Like I said, we got everything we need. We just don't have 10,000 of anything.
Yeah, well, it's just one of everything, right?
Bingo. And that's it. I mean,
it's Starbucks, Office Max.
We may have a couple of Starbucks, and you'll see a couple of...
there's another Starbucks here. And wow.
And there's like 500 little coffee shacks.
Yeah, well, I heard Alaska actually has the most coffee shops per capita.
Oh, that's not even... it would rival Boston and the Dunkies.
And do you think that just is like during the winter you need... most people need coffee?
We stay properly caffeinated all year round.
Okay.
That's another twist is that we serve a lot of ice cream here. Like even now, cold days, you can go by Cold Stone and there'll probably be a line there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I noticed someone at the cafe I went to this morning got an iced coffee.
That's A, the insanity that we were talking about, and B, vitamin deficiencies. But it's still fun to see people, lining up at Cold Stone when it's negative 20 out, and you're like, what is wrong with us? Have you seen in your research anything about the 40 below club?
Like going from 40 above Celsius to 40 below in the same...
It's way dumber than that. This is just Freddy's. We're going to pull through the parking lot. Freddy's, affectionately Fred Myers, and there's Costco.
Ooh, we just drifted a little bit.
Oh, that's going to happen. You just kind of...
So everyone has to know how to drive here.
Yeah, oh yeah. And you get to like the intersections come up a little quicker and there's no stopping. You just kind of wave your way through like, sorry, my bad. We're not going to do that now though. We'll let Granny go. She's got 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. When's the last time you left Alaska?
I haven't left since, so in 2020, we did what YouTube told us to do, and we bought an RV and we drove around the country for 3 years, and then we came back May of 2024. I haven't left the state since we got back in May of 24.
Wow. So this will be your second winter straight without a vacation.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like, I'd like to leave, but there's always reasons to stay. Being self-employed, kids' events and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, just look at the sky. Like,
oh, man, it's amazing.
And it's like the sun rises for like 2 hours here.
The sun rises for 4 hours right now. 4 hours. Don't take our 2 hours away. But in a couple weeks, the solstice, the sun will rise around 10 and set at 2. Everybody gets sticker shock with the temperature. You get used to the temperature. You stay in it, climate controlled this and that. The darkness, though, people really struggle with that. The daylight cycle and the seasonal affective disorder, and it drags you a little bit. That's where the vitamin deficiency comes in as well. So here's Lowe's, same as every other Lowe's.
Oh, and there's Home Depot here too, right?
Yes, sir. No.
Even Mickey D's.
We got yes. It's really just a glorified coffee shop and the indoor play area.
For kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's some more. We got
Barnes and Noble's. Really?
Gotta have Barnes and Noble. Got the fireplace in there. Oh yeah.
Sonics, yeah, there's way more shops, but this is like where all the shops are. Is this?
Oh yeah,
area.
This is about it. We're not. I'm not. There's not like miles of this. This is the...
So I arrive at Fairbanks. It's supposed to be like extremely remote. You take me to the one side that actually looks like a normal suburb.
That's it. This is the box stores, and then we're effectively going to be in nowhere the rest of the day. Or at least in Alaska, they practically give you guns when you get here. So we've got our guns and ammo.
I'd imagine everyone has a lot of guns out here.
No shortage.
Well, I guess going off that, hunting and fishing is a huge part of the lifestyle here. Do you hunt and fish and all that?
I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Worcester, Mass. Never learned how to hunt. I could as an adult, but I'm lazy. If we're being honest, I barter better than I hunt. So have I learned how to hunt? No. I have no intentions of putting a hole in a large animal. To be honest, that's just my personal preference. Yeah. However, I love the way moose taste.
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you tasted moose?
Oh, dude, yeah. I've eaten my body weight in moose meat.
Are there any restaurants that do moose, or do you have to hunt?
Game meat. You can't sell game meat. That's why you can have reindeer meat, but not caribou. The only difference between a reindeer and a caribou is which side of the fence they live on.
Yeah.
Reindeer is a domesticated caribou. So that's the only game meat you can buy up here. Actually, you can buy yak. I've got a buddy who's a yak herder. Can't buy moose meat, but damn is it good. I wish you could buy it.
Have you ever tried bear?
Yeah, my brother got a bear last year. Had some bear stew. It was functionally, let's be honest, if you put it in a soup or a stew or something like that, you can't really tell the difference.
But by itself, probably wouldn't taste very good.
It's not the best. I mean, certain people will get a blueberry bear, but honestly, moose is the top of it.
So I see these rail carts. We just went over the tracks. Was that the Alaskan Railroad?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it comes through here a couple times a day. We can go by the depot if you want.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
sick.
this is Costco. There is always and forever will be a line at Costco. I love it. It's right on par with the spirit of Fairbanks. It's like, we don't need anything flashy. We just want bulk. We want cheap. We want effective. That's us.
Yeah.
Cheap and reliable. That's all of us.
So is this kind of like the local watering hole? You bump into people you know at Costco and say hi and all that.
Yeah, it's a small town. Costco is the place that it's the common ground.
Fairbanks is the big city for this massive area of interior Alaska. Or it's like the only city. Do you know people from 4 or 5, 6 hour drives away that come in just to stock up on supplies?
Well, yes and no. 5, 6 hours away south, you're talking about Anchorage and Wasilla and Palmer and those places. They'll go to Anchorage to get all of their toilet paper. Now going north, that's Prudhoe Bay. So yeah, they'll all come down here. A lot of times we'll get natives in town. They'll come in from the villages, do their stuff, hang out for a little while, and go back home. They come from a distance and they'll fly their stuff back freight.
Because a lot of the villages, there's no roads, right?
Most of them, yeah. Our roads are very intentional. Like we've got a road going north and a couple going south. We don't
and there
have a ton
probably
of
wouldn't
roads.
be, if there wasn't all the oil in Prudhoe Bay, there would be no road.
There would be no
north.
road. That's literally the only road going north is the Hull Road. It was built to build the pipeline.
Wow, there's even Raising Cane's here. I've been in like cities in the U.S. that don't have Raising, or in the lower 48.
Funny story with the Raising Cane's. There is a Raising Cane's here, but there isn't a Raising Cane's here. We get so excited when we get new toys to play with, and we all have that. I wish I had this thing from home, like this Chick-fil-A or something. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to get a Target anytime soon. So then we get this Raising Cane, and everybody's like, oh, I can't wait. I used to have one back home. I love it, because everybody here's a transplant. They build it, and the Facebook group is always like, when's it going to open? When's it going to open? They finally get the thing built. This thing's got to be open soon. Is it open? No. They can't find staff. So it's been literally built, stocked, ready to rock for like 4 or 5 months, if I had to guess. It's not even open yet. And it's kind of, it's like the going joke. I guess they can't find anybody to work it. And people are like, oh, they sold out. It's going to be a Chick-fil-A. It's like, come on, don't tease me.
So is this the highway? Like the one that would go down to Anchorage if you stayed on it?
No. This is the Johansson, affectionately known as the Joe. This is the closest thing to a divided controlled access multi-lane highway in Fairbanks. Even the roads going down to Anchorage or going north, it's all 2 lanes. Here, it's just, this is the only stretch, and we're about to come to the end of that.
Okay, so downtown is like right there. Oh, I guess we're going over toward the university area now, right?
Bingo. So the first time I came up here was for my brother's wedding, like 100 years ago.
So he got married with someone who was from Alaska originally?
No. Very few people are from Fairbanks. She's from Southern California. They met up here, though. They met at a camp here in town. They were both counselors, met and got married. I flew up and took the train up. So one of my first experiences.
From Anchorage,
Yeah. That was one of my first Alaskan experiences was taking the train up here, and I thought it was amazing. I haven't done it since. I keep meaning to, but it's like I don't want to taint that. You want to preserve the first. I wish I could go back and experience that again for the first time. That train trip was
I mean, maybe do it in winter now, right?
That would be dope. So you see, you get the shipyards. They're bringing in commercial stuff here too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask about. The last time you weren't in Fairbanks, how much more expensive is the cost of everyday goods?
So that's tricky. You get sticker shock. If you go into Freddy's or something, you see the price of things. It is a little higher than a lot of places. It's not higher than California. It's not higher than Boston, New York. When we take tours, people always ask, is it expensive here? And I used to say yes, and sometimes I say no. But then I realized it depends on your vantage point. Go slow so you can get the video.
It's almost like a shipping yard, but there's no boats here.
Just a modern version of what I would expect train depots to look like 120 years ago.
So this is still like a big part of Alaska.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's got to be.
Can you just park your car right here? Is that?
Oh yeah, it's Fairbanks. Heavy traffic here is like people pulled over to see a moose. Nobody cares.
Well, I noticed too, there's a lot of cars where someone like runs into the store and you have to keep your car running while you, like the battery will die if you don't, right?
Well, at extreme colds, no, but I think it's simpler than that. I think we just don't want to get back into a cold seat. So people will leave them running if they're just hopping in for a little while. When we get home, we'll plug up. But if it's like -50 or something insane, then yeah, you want to keep it running and you have battery issues. You'll see these power poles.
Yeah.
Any place that is generally designed for you to be for more than 8 hours is going to have power poles. They're easy to miss, but they're all over the place. So that might be somebody that works here because their car is cleared off. So they probably came in because they're going to work here today and they're plugged up. If we're just running in for a minute, oh yeah, we're leaving this sucker running. I'm going to leave the butt warmers on.
Wow, this, like just the way the light refracts on the trees and everything. This is amazing.
This is the why. When people say, how do you live here when it's -40? This is how.
Yeah, no, this is beautiful.
I'll never get tired of this.
So what's the coldest temperature you ever experienced?
-66. 66. That was up in Prudhoe.
Oh, you lived in Prudhoe before.
No, I worked. I got a job on the slope, working in the oil field.
And so you experienced minus 66.
Minus 66. That was insane. It felt like I was getting sandblasted by snow. It is as terrible as it sounds, but it was a cool experience. I got a job up there just out of occupational curiosity. Heard from so many people that had worked up there and what it was like. Might as well give it a shot. Did it for a season. Enjoyed it. Got friggin' cold. Came back. I wouldn't mind working on the slope again, but being away, I have kids, so being away, that stings. Here it is.
This is the terminal. Yeah, it's mini Grand Central Station.
It's tiny. Oh, the cool thing about having such a short day is you don't have to wait too long between an amazing sunrise and an amazing sunset.
Yeah.
Like, how can you get tired of this? It's all the colors balanced with the whiteness of the snow on everything. It's like we live in a postcard.
You just mentioned you have kids.
Yeah.
Or I guess like your whole family. What did they think when you said you wanted to move to Alaska?
So I met my wife before we moved up here, and I said, listen, I got to tell you, because we met in North Carolina, so I am moving to Alaska within the next year.
Oh, you just met right before?
Yeah, I had just met her. She went silent, and I was like, okay, well, been nice talking to you. And she said, I've always wanted to move to Alaska. All right, let's do it. At that point, we had my son, who's 14 now. My daughter, she was actually born up here.
So she's the first true Alaskan in your family?
Yeah. She's our Alaskan baby. See, they play in this. They don't care if it's cold.
Yeah, kids, I guess, especially if you don't know any different, it's like...
They have fun no matter where they are. Even the schools, our kids are homeschooled, but for the public school kids, they still go out to recess until like negative 20. It's insane. Like all these rows of little snowsuits, and they all get their snowsuits on and go outside. In this, it's functional insanity. Like we're all used to it. In North Carolina, if there's a whisper of snow, they're calling school off.
There's not even snow or cold days here, are there?
No. If we get a snow day, it's like apocalyptic. Because usually when we get snow, for one, it's not much. We don't get those nor'easters like they get up there. We get like 5 or 6 inches at a time at the most. Usually it's like an inch or two, and everybody with a plow is in their boots by the time it stops snowing. And
so like everyone works together to get rid of it. There's not like a dedicated snow patrol.
Well, there is and there isn't. You've got the folks who work for the borough that are going to plow the main roads. They brine the roads, they put down gravel, but every little community's got a plow guy.
And does everyone just chip them a couple bucks?
Yeah. If I lived down a road that needed to be plowed, so we'd all know the plow person, we'd all, chip in. One of the first houses we lived in here, like this cabin in the woods, had this like quarter-mile driveway. I was like, oh, this is great. Until we had to plow it, shovel it. It was like, this is not great anymore. I mean, if it's bad and we get like a foot of snow, just kind of put on a pot of chili and everybody just kind of takes a snow day. But that only happens a couple times a year.
Is it ever so cold that they like don't have kids go to school?
No. The only thing that changes between here at negative 16 and negative 30 is your face hurts a little more and we can't stand out here and talk. But it's not absolutely unbearable because it's 10 degrees colder than this.
It's even just looking at you now, you don't have a hat covering your ears, you have no gloves on. How cold does it have to get before you...
Oh man, I'm insulated and acclimated. I'm not too worried about it. So I've got the good stuff. Yeah. Like I've got a big parka, but if I can wear that like 4 days a year. That's only if I'm going to be out here for a while. If it's just a couple 30 minutes, this is... The time we get cold, it'll be time to get it back into something warm.
I was going to say, I'm getting a little cold now. Is it good for us to go inside?
You haven't acclimated yet.
These are some old photos of the Alaskan Railroad back in the 50s. Winter weather.
Yeah, I got you some hand warmers.
Oh, for me? Wow, thank you.
These are the proper gloves.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's like minus 50. Just in case your car breaks down, you have like a survival kit in the car?
Should. Yeah.
No, you don't. Have you ever had the car just not stop, like in minus 40?
No, knock on wood. We have had a couple where I had to call and get a ride. Thankfully, not when it's super cold. When it does happen, it can be bad, like catastrophic.
Yeah, no, like it could be life and death,
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things about Fairbanks. We call it the Alaskan push party. Let's just be honest, these roads are trashed, and we all put it in the ditch every now and again.
Is it just what it sounds like, Alaskan push party?
It's exactly what it sounds like. By the time you realize you're stuck and you get out, chances are there's at least one other person there ready to help push you out. Mutual survivalism. I could be right behind somebody and they just kind of gently put it in the ditch. And by the time I park, get over there, get ready to push, there's 2 or 3 other people there hanging out ready to push them out. No exchange of money, just a couple of fist bumps and we're all on our way. People will stop and help here more than anywhere. We can hop in if you're close.
Yeah. You were telling me before coming here that community is extremely, extremely important here.
Community is everything here. Fairbanks is what America used to be. The sense of community that we're told that Americans have or had, or maybe it's post-war, that exists here. In the micro and the macro, like in general, you got the push party. If I go into the ditch, somebody's gonna stop and help. But even in the micro, like our little community, we're homeschooled, self-employed, but we've got a network of friends, maybe a dozen other families that are all similar homeschooled kids, same values, fill the freezer, they hunt or fish. sure. We kind of rely on each other. That's what I was saying. I barter well. I like to barter.
Do you literally trade things for like moose meat?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Still a thing here. So I like to fish. I like to go offshore fishing. I don't get to do it as much, but when you do, you get a bunch. Before we left in 2020, we went fishing and we got a whole bunch of halibut and rockfish. Now my brother likes to go dip netting, which is exactly what it sounds like. And so during the salmon spawn, you go to certain places on the river, you have this 15-foot long net, put the net in there, scoop them up. And before you say it sounds like cheating, people die doing this. It's
everything here is extreme, man.
You're in the wild. You have to tether to a tree if you're smart. But my brother likes to do that, and he'll go and get 60-something salmon, and some of them are huge. If you get that much salmon or that much halibut, you're going to get tired of it before you get to the bottom of the freezer. If I've got halibut and rockfish and he's got salmon and we've got a friend that hunts, maybe they get a moose, maybe they get a caribou. A moose, that's several hundred pounds of meat. And we have friends that grow and can vegetables. We have friends that have chickens. Basically, if we've got one of those, we've got all of those because we'll barter in a circle.
Going off of just everyone helping everyone out, do you think that's just because it's necessary for survival for people to work together in a place this extreme?
I think that might be the basis of it. But once you get into a community like that, you wonder why you ever did it any other way. It's simple to say, sure, we need to coexist, we need to help each other out, but really if I need something, I've got half a dozen people that I can call. Once you have that, you don't want anything else. That's why people come up here and they stay. It's like that's the part that you can't put on a tour brochure.
Yeah.
You know, I've lived in the city my whole life, and it's not to say that we didn't have family and friends, but it's just to say that the community here is tighter.
So I'm not acclimated to this weather yet. How long did it take before you saw this as just being normal?
Oh man, 20-something summers of 105 in North Carolina working outside. I'd rather -40. See, closed down. Been closed down forever.
It's like a frozen ghost McDonald's.
Shogun, great Japanese. Hibachi.
Yeah, there's a lot of Asian restaurants.
We serve a predominantly Asian tourism market. Last time I heard it was like 24 Chinese and Thai restaurants. If we're looking coffee shacks, this one's my favorite. Mocha Dan's good breakfast stuff. Good people that work there too.
So I'd imagine everyone has a car here. Well, maybe at the university, but other than that, everyone.
Yeah, the other side of that one is the cops don't nickel and dime us here. We don't get pulled over for speeding and for, busted taillights, stuff like that as much. But on the drinking nights, Friday, Saturday, they're going to pull you over and smell your breath. So they do get DUIs off the street. I know a significant portion of the population up here has at least one Dewey.
And then wait, if you have a DUI, then you can't drive through Canada to get to...
Bingo. So the trick is, on nights that I don't have tours, I do Uber and Lyft because there's a massive deficiency and there's just not a lot of drivers. Here's the university. That's the Museum of the North up here. We'll drive up here. It's
gorgeous.
University
this is like a proper university. Wow.
Oh, it's solid, man. Look, what other universities have an ice wall that you can climb?
Like you can ice climb?
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to do it today, but...
Well, I guess there's a huge military population, university population, and then the regular population. Does everyone kind of mingle together?
Yeah, it's all one and the same. Now, the base has their own shenanigans. They have their own things, but they still interact in the community. Yep, there it is. There's the ice wall. And this is the sled hill. This is the infamous college sled hill. So
which one?
Right here, this hill behind us.
Oh, okay.
So on a nice day, you'll have a half a dozen neighborhood kids come out here and sled, as they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's some kids going out there with sleds now.
Yeah.
What best shows the university is the hill from the top, because it's a clear day and I think you'll be able to see Denali.
You can see Denali from...
And it's clear.
It's what, like 300 miles away?
Oh yeah, it's a ways away, but see, we don't have as much pollution now that it's not that cold yet. When it gets super cold, that's one of the things that gets bad. But they've systematically kind of weaned a lot of people off of wood stoves, so it thinned that problem out a little bit.
Oh yeah, because it's a lot cheaper for people to just chop a lot of wood in the summertime, right?
It's much cheaper.
Yeah.
It's just sweat equity. But when it gets super cold and you have that cap on top of the dome, so to speak, really, it legitimately does stay in there. It's not great for you. But true to the Alaskan spirit, Alaska couldn't be like, okay, you gotta get rid of your wood stoves. Alaskans love their liberties, and rightfully so. So this area down here, sometimes they have reindeer and other large game in there, but they've moved some of those to Lars.
Oh, like a farm almost. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that every once in a while a moose or reindeer just runs through here, no?
Oh yeah, I see moose in town like maybe once a week.
Like downtown even.
Oh, they don't care.
Really?
They do not care. So bear can be timid. We don't see them in town much because they avoid people. Moose though, moose don't care. They go where they want to go. We get a lot of people that are like, man, I need bear spray. I need to be prepared for bears. I'm going to carry guns for bears. You're not going to see any bears. They hear you, they're going to run. Maybe you'll stumble across the den is the worst thing you can do. But then they'll see a moose and try to get a selfie and it's like, bro, that thing will hurt you.
Oh, moose are way more dangerous.
They are aggressive. They are huge. They are deceptively fast. And people are like, oh, let's get a selfie. And it's like, that will hurt you. There you go, Denali. Yep.
You can see Denali. Oh my God.
Looking into the sun there. Yep, there she is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's Denali.
This is the Museum of the North. Pretty awesome museum.
The architecture is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I like it. Fairbanks looks like a dusty little industrial town, and I guess really it is, but there's billions of dollars flowing through here. Oil and gold and fish and college and military. There's lots and lots of money. They just don't spend it on big, dumb, opulent things.
So this part of Alaska, there's no like big mountains.
Well, when you get down to Healy, which is Denali, this is the entrance, the one entrance to the park. 20, 30 miles before that, you see some like peaky, tall mountains like those right there. But you know, we're up here, not so much. We're kind of in between that range and the Brooks range. Our little husky is awesome.
Yeah, they're just in hoodies and normal pants.
Yeah.
And it's minus 15.
The yokels.
So do people do things outside in the wintertime?
We're stupid. We don't pause. We stay busy. We get out and do stuff. I mean, cars break down, they need to be fixed. You know, all the things you have to do outside, we still do here.
So your main thing now is you do tours. I'm going to link your tour company in the description if anyone wants to check them out. Would you say there's more tourists in the winter than the summer?
That's tricky. They say technically by numbers there's more tourists in the summer. A lot of them are in the Princess ecosystem. They're zipping all over the state, come up on a cruise ship, you know, do the land, air, sea thing where they end up in Fairbanks for like a day or something. And also we get a lot of people that come up in the summer, but they're more likely to rent a car and just disperse, because that's a proper way to check out Alaska, is to just go down the road, stop where you can stop, hike where you can hike.
Whereas here, like in the wintertime, if you don't know how to drive in the winter, it's dangerous.
It's not a great idea. If you don't have the survival skills that you're used to having here, that could get sticky. So even though there's technically more tourists in the summer, we get more people here in the wintertime that we on our end, because we're a small local tour company. It's just me and my brother. We're not trying to make the Forbes list up here. I can get a job in the oil fields or something like that, or
well, the oil fields pay amazing.
They pay great,
right?
And a lot of the seasonal work up here does. Whether it's oil or gold or fish, a lot of the seasonal industries pay good money, but that's not why anybody is doing tours here. They do it because they love this place. They want to share that with other people. You want to go get warm?
Yeah. You noticed me.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't bring my hat.
You have any qualms with hides or furs?
No.
I've got a hat for you if you forgot one. One of them's a lynx hide. We bartered that from a buddy that
it's just a different culture up here.
Entirely different. Bartered the hide from that guy and then had it made into a hat from another local company that had been doing it for like 30 years.
Yeah. I'm just realizing like the few boogers I have in my nose are frozen now.
Those are definitely going to freeze up.
This is the lobby to the University of Alaska Museum of the North.
So we've got this area that's dedicated to the earthquakes, because Alaska is one of the most seismologically active places on the planet. It's funny, people will be like, I saw there's a big earthquake, did you guys feel it? I was like, that was 600 miles away. They forget how big Alaska is. Yeah. Something that I think is cool here, and it's not even on display yet, is the Into the Wild bus.
Oh, is that here?
That's here. That movie had a lot of fanfare.
Yeah,
no, it had a cult classic,
great movie,
cult following.
great book.
A lot of people were coming up here on this journey, similar to what he was on. But they apparently missed one key element of the movie. He got stuck there.
And he died.
He died. So people would hike out to that sucker and not be able to hike back. So every year they had to send search and rescue out there to get people. At some point, the city or the borough decided that it was more cost effective to airlift the sucker out of there. So they are building a display to show it off, which is kind of against what the whole story is, like he was leaving civilization. It's cool that they brought it here, that people can come and see it, and I understand the quest that brought people to it.
Well, you said that most of the people here are transplants. Would you say a lot of people were kind of just searching for something that wasn't in the lower 48?
I think so, yes, but you tend to see what you want to see. I've known a lot of people up here that came here looking for something, whether they were looking for that community, whether they were looking to get a fresh start, stuck in a life they didn't want to be in anymore, and they wanted to start over, and this is the extreme of starting over. People that were getting out of bad relationships, people that were getting out of bad habits, and they come up here and they're able to find peace. Fairbanks isn't for everybody, and it's not really for anybody forever. I think a lot of people come up here, they find what they were looking for, and then they split. Now, there are some lifers. I don't think my brother will ever leave.
Do you think you'd leave one day?
Yeah, I've already tried it once, and nothing was Fairbanks, so we came back, but I could see us snowbirding. As much as I love Alaska, man, I love the beach. I also have that wanderlust of wanting to go and see things. Check this out over here.
The Roseberry Alaska Art Gallery. Oh, this way.
Check this out.
Place where you go to listen. We are immersed in music. The earth beneath us, the air around us, and the sky above us are filled with vibrations. Every sound you hear is connected directly to the natural world. I would not expect something like this in Fairbanks.
This place will surprise you. One of the things I appreciate that they do here is that they split it up by region, because people forget how big Alaska is. Yeah. Alaska is 17 or 18% of all of the United States landmass.
Yeah. It would be the 17th largest country on its own.
If you broke it up into 3 different states, it would be 1, 2, and 4. So to assume that the things that happen in Fairbanks is the same thing that happened in the islands, it's crazy.
Have you ever been to any of the remote islands or settlements, like fly-in only places?
Yeah, I went to Dutch Harbor last year for work. It was awesome.
Oh, that's on Alaska, right?
Yeah. That was a cool place. They're like drawing straws to see who goes. And I was like, I will go.
How different is life in those actually super remote communities versus here?
It's not that it's different, it's just that it's smaller. So less stores, but anytime they need stuff, they're just gonna fly into Anchorage. The town was cool because you still get that World War II history there. People don't realize the role that Alaska had in World War II.
Oh yeah.
It was important during the Lend-Lease Act to bring in a lot of equipment up here to bring to Russia, and that's how the Alaskan Highway was built, to get resources up here. Also in Dutch Harbor in particular, we heard about Pearl Harbor being bombed, but Dutch Harbor was bombed and invaded too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember ever learning about that in history. After it was bombed, I think it was a couple hundred natives were put in internment camps by the U.S., but not by Japanese forces. Not a happy part of American history, not to diminish the plight of other people that went through similar things, but with the Aleuts, their harvest cycles were off kilter. Their hunting lines had changed. Their whole life had changed in the couple years that they were removed from that area. They didn't cover that in history class. There's a whole corner dedicated to just that, and I think it's cool to raise the awareness of that. Not that we can do anything about it now, but what those people had to go through. Trail of Tears didn't really extend up here. This is jade. Alaska is one of the most mineral-rich places on the planet.
Yeah.
So check this out.
There were mammoths back in the day.
They're still pulling mammoth tusks and stuff out of the permafrost. Like you can go into the craft market, you can go in there and get like mammoth teeth and stuff.
Have you seen a polar bear?
No, only in zoos I want to.
So not even in Prudhoe Bay, you never saw?
No, I wanted to so bad. I was 40 miles west of Prudhoe. I was at Kapara, but I had an office job, so I was in the office the whole time, which is good because I wasn't out in the tundra. But I didn't get to see any stinking polar bears. So just for a visualization, this is what a mammoth looks like. And people are just like finding tusk out in the tundra.
That's Alaska in a nutshell. No, it's so big, it's so unexplored. Like it is the last frontier. Like it really
Legitimately,
is.
in several different iterations of that, it really is. California had their gold rush. Kind of ended. They're not still panning for gold in the creeks in California as much. Klondike gold rush up here, similarly. 1890s. I think Fairbanks 1902. But they're still pulling gold out of this place. Like Fort Knox gold mine is the second largest open pit gold mine in the world. That's 20 miles north of here. Pogo is one of the largest shaft mines in the world. Gold, that's not this part of our history. That's part of the current ecosystem here.
Is this on Dutch Harbor here?
Yeah.
Everything I've seen about the Aleutian Islands, like it just seems like the most beautiful place in the world.
Oh, it's amazing. In a couple days of like, occasionally the wind gets real bad and we can't fly out. I was like, oh darn, I hope that doesn't happen. I'm on a business trip getting paid. I would hate to stay here for anher day. So this is the big attraction, I think. This is Blue Babe. He's 36,000 years old.
So this is a frozen bison from...
Oh yeah.
What?
Steppe bison. He's a pretty old fella. There's a few gnarly features to this. One,
it's still fully intact.
Is that. And two, he was killed, but he wasn't eaten. Nature doesn't usually do that. And he was frozen before he decomposed. The fact that he turned blue is to do with the minerals in the ground.
36,000 years ago.
He's
Holy.
Another interesting thing is what killed him. I wouldn't have got it with my first 1,000 guesses.
A lion.
A lion.
There were lions here.
There was. Thank God there's not now. This is a lion. This is an American lion skull. Wow. Or it's cast, but yeah. And like even in this illustration of the area, you've got your lions there, but you've also got like a short-faced bear. We can see these. It's a different type of bear than what we're used to. But see, the cool thing is it looks like they also have men down here hunting things.
I feel like in other parts of the U.S., there used to be animals just everywhere. Now you don't have that. Here, you 10, 20 minutes out of town, you'll see animals, right?
Oh yeah, a moose at the very least. The difference is there's not a lot of roads here. Whereas like in the Smokies, you see more bears because they're infringed on. They don't have as much places to go. Trash smells like food, and food is important, so they're going to wander into town. Well, here there's so much nothingness, they don't need to infringe in town.
Have you ever done a camping trip out in the wilderness here?
Yeah, we like to hike and camp. If we're being honest, we don't go out in the wilderness as much. We end up going to places that are still close-ish to towns, maybe an hour outside.
Or something goes wrong, you can get back.
Yeah, like we got small kids, let's be real. We get folks that fly up for hunting trips. Look, if Fairbanks is the middle of nowhere, that is sufficiently past nowhere. You're 100 some odd miles up there in the nothingness. If you don't want to be found, that is the place. And they'll get dropped in, they'll spend a week, maybe shoot something, maybe not.
So you've driven the Dalton?
I've driven half of it. We used to do trips like tours to the Arctic Circle, and I did those.
And that would take what, 12 hours?
Yeah, round trip it usually took me 14 or 15 because I drive slow. I was like, I'm not doing those ever again. It's white knuckle the whole time. It's bananas.
And then from the Arctic Circle, it's another how many hours?
That's only halfway. I think it's about 500 miles from here Arctic Circle's about half that.
But the road's terrible. So
it's one of the worst roads in the the continent. It's absolutely nuts. It's not like you can just call AAA up there. I've heard people say that they wrecked their vehicle, and the tow bill to get it back costs more than the vehicle is worth. If you ever get the chance to fly up to Prudhoe or Barrow or something like that, you feel like you're on a different planet. You get so far north, you are north. That's the tree line. There are no trees. The permafrost can't sustain trees. You feel like you're on Mars. And the best way to describe what Kaparak is it's like if you took a community college, the auditorium and the cafeteria, and dropped it on Mars. The horizon and all ends, all you can see is oil fixtures. A couple thousand dudes up there, and a lot of them have been doing it forever. It's just like normal for them. And they're complaining because it was negative 55. Like, this is awesome.
I'm really glad my first time in the winter is in the interior, because I feel like Alaska's already like the extreme US, and this is extreme Alaska.
Yeah, see, and you're already welcoming that merit badge society where you're like, yes, coldest place at the coldest time.
Yeah.
We get a little bit colder, but nevertheless, we won't tell anybody. You're up here for this.
It's a little toasty for you. You took your...
It's like good to stay warm, but then you go inside and you start sweating, and then you go outside and you get warm, get cold, get cold, get warm.
That's hilarious that your car's just still right out front. So nobody steals cars here.
I'm not gonna say that.
Because that's all I'm thinking, like the keys in the ignition, the car can just...
You mean it's not that way in LA anymore?
So going off of why you don't want to drive the haul road because you don't want to be a burden on someone else, is there like a rite of passage having to survive a few winters and prove you can be self-sufficient before people start really welcoming you here?
I want to say no, but I kind of have to be honest. It's kind of a feel like, hey, that's cool, you're new, that's great. We all moved up here. How long have you been here? 3 months? Oh, you haven't done a winter yet. Okay, well, if you make it to the spring, then we can be friends. It's a thing. You have to survive a winter. I think what the natives call it a tichaco, and I would think it was dorky otherwise, but it's warranted. If you can put up with a winter, you're somebody. Yeah, how can you get tired of this view?
Yeah, no, this is the view in town, huh?
Yeah.
This is just stunning, man.
I hope that this whole weekend is a long answer to how do you live here. This is hard to explain to somebody on the phone, but when you're here and you can experience it, you're like, okay, hopefully by the time you leave, you'll be like, okay, I get it.
I can understand the appeal, but I don't think I'd last as long as you've lasted.
So that's the thing. The longer you stay, the longer you stay. This place sucks.
Just because of the community, did you say? Is that
100%. Northern Lights, dog sled, fantastic. Views, mountains, the community, the people, the society up here is different. There's different rules. Look, they're sledding the sled hill. Anytime I'd say anytime it's warm enough, but it's -9. As a family, like we resolve to get out during the daylight. Now I work graveyard. I don't have a problem with the circadian rhythm, but the wife and the kids, they resolve to get out for at least a couple hours during the day.
Oh, because you guys homeschool too, so you could have school start at 3 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And sometimes it does. Sometimes they're fully charged, and it's best to just bring them to the trampoline park and let them get some energy out. I went through the public school system, so I'm not going to disparage that, but maybe some acronyms in our household, some attention deficiencies.
Yeah.
You know, sitting in a room is not going to be their best thing. So this is our badge of honor, and we're idiots. I told you we have to be insane to do this.
Oh, this sign here.
This is the sign. This sign shows the temperature on the other side here, which...
-18 Fahrenheit right now.
Yep.
-28 Celsius.
I'm not good at math, but for -40 Celsius and -40 Fahrenheit, it's the same. It's the point where we could all just collectively agree. It's freaking cold. When that thing hits -40, it doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. There will be 10 cars minimum parked right along the sidewalk.
So that's the -40.
That's the 40 below club happens right there. They'll be scantily clad as they feel comfortable getting. That is when you become a proper Fairbanks. So if it hits 40 below while you're here, just know.
I mean, I hope it does.
Swim trunks.
Wow, look at this building. It's just covered in frozen. So it doesn't snow that often here, but once the snow starts falling, it just doesn't melt.
It'll snow a few times in October. The week before Halloween, it usually sticks, and it just gets buried and buried and buried until about Easter. And we'll have snow on the ground into May.
What's like one thing most people would take for granted in the lower 48?
This is our farmers market. This is actually a big thing. I think a lot of places say buy local, but really what they mean is buy stickers that say buy local. Fairbanks, for local growers, they come here, they do pretty well.
Well, the growing season's only how long though?
But we have a full sun for most of it. So it's a short growing season, but we get a 24-hour sun for a lot of it. But it's things that I took for granted in the south. Friggin' concerts, man. Like, when you have access to, like, all the concerts and things that you can go to, it's like, oh, let me just hey, there's a concert. It's 2 hours away, no big deal. Here, no. You know, anywhere else you have good concerts that you can go to. Here, it's Fairbanks good. Would I have gone to this otherwise? No.
And so do you ever travel to the lower 48 just to see a show you want to see?
Eventually, I'll have it like that. When I go to lower 48 now, it's usually for a wedding or a
There's a Polynesian restaurant. Wow.
It's good, too. And that's another cool aspect of Fairbanks, is we don't have, you're not going to find a B-dubs here, TGI Fridays, and the chains that we're used to in the lower 48. That's another, what did you take for granted? I could go into a B-dubs. I want sweet and sour. I want this. I want boneless. We don't really have that. We have Panda Express. We don't have a lot of chain sit-in restaurants. We have 100 little mom and pops like this. Whatever they say they are, they're usually good for because people here pay for good things.
I've heard there's like an Alaska sourdough lifestyle. What does that exactly mean?
So the sourdough is the legend calls it. They say somebody's a sourdough when they're sour on Alaska, but they don't have the dough to leave. That's a misnomer. That's your all salty, get off them, stay off my lawn types. And they're good folks, good, hard-working folks. They've been here for 1,000 years. They'll grumble and they'll argue, but they'll absolutely help push you out of the ditch, right? Yeah. That kind of person. And now it's politics and friggin' that and this and that, and they're tired of this place. You could not pay them enough to make them leave, most of them. It's the sourdoughs. It's cranky and they
like
hate
to
it
complain,
here.
but they also love it.
They
here.
would never leave.
Yeah. So this is the Home Depot. Are we pretty much hitting the edge of the city now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's just wilderness for the next.
That's the last store you're going to see for a little while. Other than the gas station, then you're going to see some trees. And we'll go to this little pipeline access area. It's a very significant thing to the Alaskan economy, of course.
Yeah. Well, you guys all get paid like what, between $1,000 and $5,000 a year based off of that?
Closer to the one. The full PFD should be $5,000. Are we ever going to see that? Probably not, because politicians do what politicians do. It's interest on the mineral rights coming from oil companies, because Alaska is socialist mineral rights. You can pull things out of the earth, but you have to pay the Alaskans for the right to do it. They pull back that interest, but politicians tend to borrow from that money to fund other things, and they shouldn't. Yeah, I think last year was like $1,000, $1,200 maybe.
Per person or for the whole family?
Per person.
Oh, so your kids too?
Yeah, so my brother having 6 kids, they get 8 shares of the PFD, so when it was $2,000, that helped. $16,000 check in October, that helps a lot.
I don't know how much the mortgages are here, but that's probably half the year of the mortgage, right?
I mean, legitimately, we talk about affordability and sticker shock and stuff like that. Sure, it's expensive to live everywhere. It could be cheap to live everywhere.
Well, there's people that live off-grid here for $50 a month, right?
Absolutely. So there's no state income tax. There's no state sales tax. Some cities like North Pole has a sales tax. And if you live outside of the borough, which is, let's just say, like a 45-minute donut around Fairbanks, you don't have to pay property tax. So you could theoretically just buy a piece of land with a cabin on it and just chill out there and not need much money. Once that sucker's paid off.
Could you ever see yourself doing something like that?
Maybe. So we're in the process of buying a homestead now. It needs to be fixed up. So that's about 25 miles outside of town. That's on Chatanika Springs Road. It's close. We could be to town. Well, we're effectively out in the woods. And I like that. You know, it's got a chicken coop. We wanted to grow crops in the summer. I may or may not have promised my daughter. When we were living in a camper and traveling, and miniature Highland cows start getting popular. This little 6-year-old girl says, "Hey, Dad, can I have a miniature Highland cow?" What do you say is it, Dad? Absolutely. Oh, but we can't. We live in a camper. As a parent, you expect them to forget that kind of crap. Do they? No. The day that we went to look at this place, what is this now 8-year-old girl asking? Dad, does this mean that we can get a miniature Highland cow? And I was like, oh, but how would we get it up here? And I happened to be talking to my friend that has a yak farm. He's like, oh yeah, I got a guy down there who can get it down in the valley for like $1,200. And I was like, that's actually affordable. Okay, we'll do it.
And so even like people in the city though, most of the properties are quite big, right?
Yeah, people like to have their buffer space here. And it's also, there's a lot of public land. It's not necessarily what you own, but what you have access to. So a lot of places might border on a lot of state land. So like you can have an acre or two, but if you've got access to 500 acres of land, you've got 502 acres of land. Now I told you we don't have a lot of big opulent buildings, even though we have a crap load of money flowing through here. Well, one of the things that they put money into is public land and resources like that, like the trailheads, campgrounds. I would rather those things than a taller, more shiny building every couple years.
Would you say there's a lot more like personal responsibility?
Oh, without a doubt. More than I've seen anywhere else. One of the coolest ways that that'll manifest, things fall out of doors. Trash happens. Trash blows out of, whatever. So in the spring when all the snow melts, you have a deposit of trash. The community gets together and people get their bags. We assemble parties. Like, all right, I got the steez from this mile to that mile, and we'll just go out and pick up trash. Nobody pays anybody to do that. We just all collectively do it because this place is awesome and want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Here we are. See, we didn't have to go very far. They don't use salt on the roads up here. They use gravel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. This is what we call the Alaskan windshield. If you see a windshield here that's not cracked or chipped, it has either just been replaced or a vehicle might be new getting up here. Practically every vehicle you get in is going to have chips. I could be wrong about this, but I can think of 3 decent reasons why they don't use rock salt. 1, it's ineffective when it's super cold, and this is snow. This isn't ice, so it's not going to burn through this as well. 2, it's not economic. It's easier to get gravel up here than salt. But also, the moose like salt. So if we put salt in the road, we may have moose in the road. The last thing we want to do is draw these big 1,500-pound bumper magnets into the middle of the road.
And I guess it seldom in the wintertime gets warm enough where the snow melts and then refreezes.
Right, and the problem is the places where it actually does is like when you pull up to a red light and you're stopped, your exhaust is going to cook off a little bit.
Yeah.
and then it's going to melt it, and then it's going to freeze. This is the exact worst place for it, is right at those intersections.
Yeah, then someone's stopping, then they just keep going.
So it gets really gnarly there, and that's why a lot of times when the light turns green, you kind of make sure nobody's like skidding through. And occasionally, we all do it. You hit one of those skids and you're skidding through, and you just honk the horn, and you just wave, and there's no middle fingers. You're just like, my bad.
And so it goes all the way from Prudhoe Bay. It was built in the 70s, right?
Yep,
Yeah, 77, all the way down to Valdez is how you say it.
Yeah, 800 miles. The way it was built, how it was built, and how quickly it was built is an engineering marvel. It was the largest privately funded construction project in U.S. history to that point. Alaska is one of the most seismologically active places on the planet. So this is kind of on a sled, so this can move horizontally. Frosting up?
Yeah, my camera's, it's got a little layer of frost in the lens, wow.
When it gets super cold, your phone battery will go 100 down to like single digits in no time.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever had my camera where you can't just wipe off the frost. So would you say the pipeline, this is when Alaska really, well, obviously World War II, but then the pipeline is what made it a mainstay?
Well, the gold rush, sure. 1890s, Alaska, and then 1901 to Fairbanks. That's when the big hits were here.
Yeah.
But then World War II, but then again in the 70s when the pipeline was built. This is a massive industry. Like within a couple years, I think there's 10 or 15,000 people moving up here to build this sucker. 800 miles, half of it's above ground, half of it's below ground.
Wow.
It's hard to bury a tube of hot liquid in permafrost.
Yeah.
So a lot of it has to be above ground. It has to be as high off the ground as it is so that the wildlife can get underneath it. The caribou herd is the largest single species migration left on the planet. So when we get into the discussion about should we or shouldn't we with a pipeline, that's the conundrum is, are we affecting that population? Both sides have valid arguments. Economically, there's a crap load of oil here. It's one of the most mineral rich places on the planet. So they're talking about Ambler Road, building a road out to, another remote part of Alaska to pull more expensive things out of the ground. That's fantastic. But what are we doing to the wildlife when we do that? Well, that's the compromise with this pipeline is that they build it tall enough so that the moose and caribou can get underneath it.
There's some moose that are taller than this though, no?
Yeah, I guess they got a duck.
I'm about 6'6". This is the pipeline. Wow, and it just goes on and on.
I would guarantee some of the moose that I've seen are taller than you. I mean, like I can imagine some of them would clank going under that thing. But you see the bumpers on the side? So that sled on the H-frame is not fixed. That can slide along that frame. I mean, it might seem insignificant. It's just like 100,000 of these suckers. There's a lot of these frames. So to have to do that many times.
And to even bring the materials up here, that must have been...
There's videos of it. It's absolutely mind-boggling. People are just like, you saw my video where I could freeze my beard in the hot springs. These suckers are out here doing that for work. Alaska was purchased for
like almost nothing, right?
Yeah, it's like 2 cents per acre. Given for inflation, that's like $1.5 billion. Oil's making that every year. So I'd say it was a good purchase. Between fishing, oil, and gold. It's made its money. I think Russia was predominantly using it for the fur trade. The idea was that they had exhausted a lot of the muskox because muskox, their wool is like 9 or 10 times warmer than sheep's wool, but they weren't built to defend themselves against man with gun. They reintroduced a population of muskox.
Well, they're only like in the far north, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, you don't see those until you get up past the hills, but they're pretty cool to see. It looks like a giant goat is what it looks like.
If you're in a city, less than 30-minute drive is like across town. What here is considered like a normal like drive you would do?
You don't have to live 400 miles out into the nothingness to feel like you're Alaskan. It's funny because like if you watch Life Below Zero, one of the things they say is 40 miles from the Arctic Circle or 60 miles from the Arctic. It's like, that's 30 minutes from Walmart. That's our geographic pinpoint. It's like, how close is it to Walmart? And it makes sense north of town here because Walmart is one of the first things you approach as you come into town.
So you've never gotten frostbite, you?
No. It's funny, you'll see the frost will start building up on my mustache and beard just from the condensation from my breath.
Yeah, no, you can see it right now.
Oh yeah, nice. Well, it must keep your face warm. No, traps moisture and freezes. No, I haven't had frostbite yet. Hopefully never. I really don't need to cross that off of my Alaskan bingo card. You want to warm up?
Yeah, the wind's getting a little nippy now.
Yeah.
So when we were on this road, I saw a sign that said Circle is 156 miles away. How many people live in Circle?
Not many. Less than 100 for sure.
There's nothing between Fairbanks and there. Have you been to Circle?
Yeah, there's a hot springs resort there. It's a more primitive version of Chena Hot Springs. Since we're up here, I want to show you something small and insignificant and easy to miss, but it is a symbolic piece of the bigger picture, and that is Fox Spring. It's free, it's just a pump to fill up water, but what it means to the community is pretty cool because you can't bury a tube of liquid in this permafrost either, so there's no water main coming through here. Most every house is off of the plumbing grid. These places aren't all necessarily dry in the sense that they don't have any indoor plumbing at all. That would be a dry cabin. Now, most of them have basically their own plumbing grid, so they would have a septic and a holding tank, and when that water runs out, you fill it up. You can either do that yourself. You'll see trucks in town that have a 300-gallon water tank in the back. If people don't want to fill up their water themselves, they'll just have the water wagon come fill them up. But for the people that live in dry cabins, which out in this area, that's a lot. That's a significant portion of the population, and I was completely wrong about that.
Yeah, that is a question. Like, what's the one thing about Alaska that you got wrong?
That, and this is not judgmental, this is just in my lower 48 mentality before I moved up here. Dry cabins was an impoverished community. Places that didn't have running water was just a sign of low income. I was off the mark with that one because getting to know a lot of people that live up here in dry cabins, it's more of a commitment to minimalism than it is an economic standing.
So it's like by choice.
Absolutely. Sure, there's some that live in them because that's what they can afford. There's a lot more people that choose that because they don't want to pay more to live in a more modernized house. I know people that make well into the six figures and still live in dry cabins. It's just a commitment to minimalism.
Yeah.
They can chop wood, they can stuff the stove, they can hunt for food. That self-sufficiency is big here. So this is the spring.
So all these cars, they probably live off-grid and are filling up water now.
Bingo. See, I don't even live off-grid. We will still, occasionally if I'm up on the side of town, a lot of times I'll bring my jugs and fill them up. This is the best tasting water I've ever had. And the city maintains, so it's tested, it's good water.
I mean, I just finished my water. I guess let's go fill it up. So is this north?
Yeah.
So this goes to the Dalton if you were to keep
Go
going.
to the Dalton, yeah. This is the whole.
Wow. It's really just wilderness up here.
Oh, yeah. Little one, right here. Oh, you're good.
Let's try some Fox Springs water. Yeah, that's good.
Where else do you get a free resource like
Yeah.
We make ramen, you bring it outside, and you scoop it up with a fork, and you lift it up, and it all freezes.
So how cold does it have to be for that to...
Negative 30, negative 40. My son loves it. He's 14, he loves that kind of
Ooh.
stuff. Nice
This is ice, yeah.
Most of the people that I know up here are transplants. Very few of them are from here. This is the life we chose, not one we were born into.
And that probably makes it easier to make new friends and stuff because everyone's new, right?
Yeah, you don't get that you ain't from around here flavor. And I will say that the people that have been here for decades and decades are just as warm to people that haven't been. You don't get the cold shoulder feel that you get in the South or in other places. As long as you're a good member of the community, people accept you as such. It's like if you have what it takes to live up here and be happy and enjoy yourself, and you're probably good people. Now, there's outliers, but just in general, if you can put up with this stuff, you're probably a decent human.
This is crazy, just snow stuck to the trees.
You can see exactly where the sunlight is.
Yeah. And this is like peak sun right now, 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Sourdough fuel.
Sourdough. It's a moniker we use for a lot of things. I'm going to show you something else that's another significant part of the community.
Okay.
The transfer site. This doesn't make it to the brochure for most places. No, let's not hit this person. Don't worry about it. We're good. He's like, all right, been there.
Yeah, he's like, I know you. Even if it happened, it happens.
All right, this is insignificant. This is not the coolest thing around, but it's another significant part of the culture here. And functionally, it is just a dump, literally. This is our dumpsters.
Oh, transfer site, like you transfer your garbage here.
This is dumpsters. We dump our stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. But this over here is the transfer site. It's a reuse area. So this is just that lean-to. Anything that's got life left in it, anything that's got value in it, people are going to leave here. This is a dishwasher. Probably works. Probably fantastic. Somebody just didn't need it anymore. Those bags probably have clothes in them. Why throw them away? Somebody can use those clothes.
So people don't really throw stuff away because
See, we're on the far end of the supply chain, so we don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
It still has life in it. Somebody can use it. I mean, sure, some things we'll list and resell locally or list it on Marketplace. Let's be honest, we're cleaning out the garage.
Yeah.
We've got things that are clearly trash. Anywhere else that just goes in the dump. But in Fairbanks, if it's got life left in it, folks just generally put it in that reuse area. When you talk to somebody that lives here, ask them what their coolest transfer site find was, and everybody's got one queued up.
What's the coolest thing you've ever found at the transfer
Canoes.
site?
I got 2 canoes one time.
For free?
For free! Or kayaks, rather. I was just dropping some stuff off. I saw a guy and his son dropping off a kayak, and I was like, seriously? He was like, yeah, we just got new ones. No big deal. I didn't want to list them and resell them.
Yeah.
A lot of people here are like internet averse. He's like, you want them? I was like, well, yeah. And at the time, it was like, there's me and there's 2 other dudes standing there, and we're all just like looking at each other. I looked at him, he's like, bro, I got a Honda Civic. He's like, I'm not hauling that thing up. I was like, I got a van, so you want to give me a hand? He was like, yeah, sure. So we used them. We had them for a couple of years, and when we left in 2020, we brought them to the transfer site. Those same kayaks may have hit the transfer site 3 or 4 different times. Who knows?
That's like super cool. In most parts of the country, everyone's just thinking about themselves.
Yeah, and they would sell it. And that's fine. People do that here, too.
Oh, are we gonna slip?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you see, they weren't going yet. They know the rules.
Obviously, you think the life here is better than in the lower 48.
No, and I wouldn't say better, and I wouldn't say worse. I could say life for me is better up here because the things that are important to me is community and culture and way society plays with one another. Other people come up here and they find this place to be absolutely terrible. People bring their own perspective. The world is what you see it as. People work hard, but they also have balance. Like all the rotational jobs, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Those 2 weeks that they're working, they work hard. Up on the slope.
12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
12. But when you're off, people play hard too. So I know a lot of folks that'll work seasonally. In the off season, they They put their feet up. They spend time with their family. No, we're just gonna eat this one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if you
We're not
could
stopping
stop in time.
We made it. We
I feel like the yellow lights here are longer than other places.
they probably have to be here.
Is there any aspect of life here that's easier than in the lower 48?
Yes, it's easier to raise a family here. With homeschooling and the way that Fairbanks supplements homeschooling, gives us autonomy in how we raise our kids. The community makes things easier. Like I was saying earlier, it's more utilitarian and less status driven. I feel like in North Carolina, it was almost proper to introduce yourself as, hi, my name is Tony, I'm a tour guide. Why is that the way we measure things? Society is different. It's not about status. It's not where you are on the ladder here. It's more about who you are. Even though some of the jobs up here are absolutely making bank. You'll see people here in Carhartts, flannel coats with cigarette holes in them, could be millionaires. You wouldn't know. When you remove the pretentiousness from society, what you're left with is people genuinely themselves. They're not pretending to be anything. We're not wearing better clothes to look sharper. And that's not to say that those things are bad, but in Fairbanks, it's not as high of a priority.
Yeah.
That's Denali in the background.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, that's the Alaska range, right? Is that a military plane?
Oh yeah, you're right between an Army base and an Air Force base, so that's what you're seeing there. You get so used to seeing those fly around that it's just, you're used to it now.
It's like the Northern Lights, you're just used to it by now.
Now that's different, you can never get used to that. But seeing people's reactions, that's one of the biggest reasons why I like being a tour guide. Seeing how people respond to seeing something amazing for the first time. Like seeing the Northern Lights, cool, I'm still impressed by it. But seeing people seeing it for the first time, I've seen people be brought to tears. I've seen people have these like spiritual experiences. It's so cool to see somebody moved like that. This is my peaceful place. I found peace here. I just like to show people my peaceful place, and hopefully they can find something like that too. That's why I like being a tour guide.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna remember this.
Well, you're gonna move up here though, so you're gonna have lots of
I feel like I can deal with the cold. It's more the remoteness. Even getting to Seattle, that's a 4-hour flight.
Yeah, that part's up. You know, you travel a lot now. There's adventure in traveling like that, sure. But there's a different kind of adventure in going into a restaurant and the waitress knows your order.
Yeah.
And seeing people around that you've known for years and people that you have shared history with. That's in a different realm just as cool as travel. So we have this thing up here that sounds crazy to people not from here. But we have a roadkill list here. If a person were to hit a moose, the troopers will come up and there's a list and we can all get onto the list.
Of like being able to eat the moose.
Bingo. Trooper will show up and he'll hit, hey John, you're next on the list. There's a fresh one here at 18 Mile Chena. You want it? Yep, I can be there in an hour. Done. And then homeboy's gonna go pick up the trailer, assemble the posse, and they're gonna go get the moose. And get a buddy called me last year and says, hey, so-and-so got a moose on the roadkill list. You down? I was like, heck yeah. The cutting boards come out and everybody cuts on it. And that was my first time being involved. I didn't even care about the moose meat. It was neat to be a part of. And some people will get on the list and have a full freezer. So they'll donate it to shelters.
Oh, there's a tent right on. Is that the lake?
Yeah, that's the lake. They're on the water. They're
in the tent, not in
tents
like a
and
shack.
huts. So we're gonna walk down there because I really don't trust these tires to get back up that sucker, and I don't.
Oh, to drive there? No, yeah. I'm winterized now. You're fully bundled up,
just in case.
We are now at Chena Lakes. The feels like has risen to only minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And as it is now 1:57 p.m., we have 50 more minutes of daylight.
Comes and goes quick. Can't take anything for granted here.
So this is all the lake right here?
Yeah, this is water.
What time of year does it usually freeze?
Mid-November, we had a group come out here. So it's been a while. We're gonna go to this one right here.
Does this stay the whole winter, this hut?
Yeah, they'll pull these out in the spring.
Minus 15.
How's it going?
Hey, Tyson. Yeah, she told me that you'd be here.
How you doing, Mango? Nice to meet you.
I don't want to intrude.
I met you at the outdoor show?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh, they got a fish.
You missed the big one.
Of course,
Oh, wait,
that's
right
what every
here?
fisherman says.
Wow, this is nice and toasty, yeah.
Right?
It's 80 in here. I don't know if
It's 80 in here? I don't know about it. Are you from here originally, Tyson?
No, I'm from Maine.
Maine's the mini Alaska, right?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I love Maine.
So how long does it usually take to grab a fish?
I mean, these guys have been here before. You said that one time. We didn't have any luck. Today, I mean, I bet we've caught 20.
And then you cook them too?
Yep, we're going to
Oh.
cook them. Another part of life. All the things I loved about Maine are kind of have the same thing here, but kind of amplified. Of course, it is colder. At home, I did see one time 38 below zero,
Yeah.
but always would warm up by afternoon. Here, it stays cold.
And it's gonna be next 6 months like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even as cold as it's gonna get. Could get 50 below.
So what's your favorite thing about interior Alaska?
How big it is. I like to get out and just go somewhere
Okay.
somewhere where there's not other people.
What's the craziest like wildlife encounter you've had?
I've gotten to like herds of caribou walk right by. That's been really cool.
Like you were just camped somewhere and they just walked
Usually
right?
hunting. I think last year we had probably 300 or 400 walk right by us.
Oh, it's quick, huh?
Yeah, it's
you
quick.
guys really
We're
catch
catching.
them.
I've only had one encounter with a bear because everyone thinks, you know,
What's one thing about Alaska that you didn't realize until you were here?
I didn't realize there's this many trees. I thought it was mostly tundra and like more open areas.
Why did you actually move here in the first place?
I've always loved to fish and hunt, and about all I knew about Alaska was that the fishing and hunting was really good. I'd never been here before I moved.
Yeah. Oh, you just moved sight unseen.
Yeah.
What part of Maine are you from?
Northern.
Like Aroostook?
Yep.
Oh, that's like rural Maine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Well, I mean, compared to this.
Yeah, right. All of our hunting is completely different up here.
So, like in Maine, I know for moose, you have to go on like a lottery, right?
Do a lottery. Here we get to hunt them every year. It was all day hunts back home. Like you just go for the day, you'd go home at night. Here, most of the time you're going out sometimes for 10 days at a time and you're camping out there. You might be using a boat, planes.
Did you get any moose this year?
Didn't get one this year. No. My wife got one last fall,
Okay.
so we're still eating on them.
Oh, you're still frozen from it lasts that long, really?
Like 600 pounds. But we'll hunt. We like bear hunting. That's usually in the
Like grizzlies?
summer. Yeah, grizzlies, then black bear, and then sheep. Sheep is probably my favorite to hunt.
What's one tip you would have for someone first just moving to Fairbanks?
I would say make the most of the winter. It's our longest season. You can easily go into hibernation mode inside and at your house, but you're going to be doing that for 7 months straight. So get out fishing, like these guys are locals. The summer and the fall seasons, I think, make up for, you can have a lot of fun in those months.
Okay.
You can in the winter too, as long as you get out and do it.
I grew up in cities, so this was an adjustment. I didn't grow up in I've been in northern Maine. I grew up in Massachusetts.
It was more convenient living here than where I'm from.
Oh yeah, no, Fairbanks has everything you need, yeah.
You don't need to go anywhere.
Well, I guess for you, the closest city would be like Quebec.
Quebec City, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you call Portland a city, I mean, we did.
But that's still like 4 hours to Portland from up there. Could you live here if you weren't able to travel at all to a warm place during the winter?
Yeah, sure, I could stay here. So the first several years that we were up here, it was like that. I only left for once or twice just to go back home, weddings and reunions and stuff. What we're talking about this year is like the wife and kids could go fly south and go see family for Christmas or something like that, and I'm going to stay up here and work. But I could absolutely see staying up here indefinitely.
Do you stay the whole winter usually?
I do.
Every winter you've been here?
Yeah, we went home, our first winter, we went home in like February, but right back into winter, I haven't had a chance to fly too far south.
You told me I need to ask everyone, what's the coolest thing you've got at the reuse?
The transfer site.
The transfer site.
Transfer site, I know we've gotten something. Everyone has. Probably the best thing we found was like a coffee table or something.
And so these are all trout?
So these are salmon, actually.
Oh, really?
That's a coho salmon.
Wow.
Side by side.
Oh, wow.
So that's the rainbow trout, and this one's a coho. Oh, so it's gotten cold enough now, so I actually have to wear my winter coat. I can't get away with it now.
So you would go just at like a hoodie up until what temperature?
Probably until like 10 below.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Unless I'm gonna be out there for a long time. If I'm only going out for 10 minutes.
And so you guys live in Fairbanks?
He lives in Fairbanks.
Yeah, she's visiting from New York.
What made you decide to move to Fairbanks?
Not so like
Oh, Northern Lights. Okay.
photographer.
Oh, yeah. Keep the heat in there.
I'll come out here with you.
See if I can get through these without grabbing my hat.
The wind's picking up, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's people that just like.
Those are warmer than they look, I promise.
Okay. I was like, it looks just like a tent. Damn, so the sun's already like starting to set.
Yeah, dude. That's the adjustment. Cold is okay. You can deal with cold. You put on a jacket, whatever. The day-night cycle, getting used to the dark, that's the learning curve here.
Do you supplement vitamin D?
I should. I don't.
You don't?
I don't take pharmaceuticals for anything. I'm stubborn as hell. Even vitamins. I don't take vitamins for shit. I should.
I've started to, and I actually think it does make a difference, to tell you the truth.
So Happy Lights are a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy Lights. The wife got Happy Lights. Somebody told her that they work in. Don't tell her I said this, but she was right.
Professional.
Oh, I get a lot of practice. And it's cold out, so I gotta go quick. I've had people come out and it's, 15, 20 above. They're like, wow, you're so fast. I'm like, well, you should see me when it's 40 below. It's freezing up.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to get cold.
My blade is starting to accumulate ice on it. All right, back to the warmth.
I am certainly glad to be back in the warps.
The fillets are like half frozen.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna fillet them up?
Oh yeah, we're gonna cook them.
Oh, just over the the stove. Okay.
That cast iron pan right on top.
What was your welcome to Alaska moment?
Oh, probably the only time I've had like a bear encounter that left me nervous. Family was out visiting. My brother and I were going to go look for moose, and it was like midnight, middle of July. Still daylight, but we go down in the swamp, not far out of town, and I look across in the brush and I see the moose coming out. So I'm like, wow, that's gonna be a great spot. Like, here comes the moose. And my brother, he's like white as a ghost, and he's like, that's not a moose. And I look back over, I'm like, oh shit, it was a grizzly bear. But it was the size of a moose. So
It just walked past you though?
no,
Like,
it saw us, and it started coming closer and closer and closer. And like, first we're like talking, then we're like waving our arms. Now we're freaking out, screaming. The bear just keeps coming. So at like 50 yards, I have my handgun, so I pull the handgun. I shoot a round off to try to scare it. It stops its progress, but he's getting pissed off. He's like popping his paws and huffing at us.
Yeah.
And I was like, I only made it 5 months until I turned into a bear turd. That's what I was thinking. We were able to scare it off, though. Yeah, so the trout are the two wider.
Yeah. And yeah, it's salmon.
But yeah, they're pretty good eating fish.
So this is the moose that Tyson's wife hunted.
So that's a leg. So you got to take one leg at a time.
And how heavy's the leg?
Like 110 pounds probably. So, and then that's moose, so the top half is coming off clean, but it's a mess. A lot of people will say you only shoot one in the water once. So much harder to deal with.
And that's why I barter for my moose meat.
Wow. Yeah, the thing's massive.
It's like 1,400 pounds.
Oh.
That's your black bear.
Damn, the black bear's actually big up here.
That was a 6'7". That's the true measurement, not
Yeah.
6'7".
Oh, okay, yeah. Then the mosquitoes are 10 feet, right?
Yeah, they're
Give or take, yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you. You don't want any?
No, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy it. I can have it whenever I.
Thank you, sir.
whenever I
Thank
want
you.
to.
You want to take a bite?
You guys like a drink?
No, I'm
How's that?
Still hot.
Okay. Tim,
Okay.
how's that? Can I get you guys a drink?
Let's try it. My first ever fresh Alaskan salmon.
That's good. About as fresh as you can get.
Oh. Oh, it's like so buttery.
Yeah, those little ones will like soak up all the seasoning. They actually come out really good.
This is my welcome to Alaska moment right now.
We gotta
Oh, we're drilling a hole.
go right around here. Make sure when you go through, it's just gonna go. So don't go with it. I'll show you.
Okay.
If you go way over like this,
Oh, okay.
you'll fall.
Can we get a video of you doing it?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Is that good?
Keep going.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. Welcome to Alaska.
In the springtime, we have to put bars on here until it's like this tall, because we'll get 5 feet ice. You have to start way up here. You gotta make sure the blades are sharp, or else you won't be getting through. So
Everything here is more work. And there's the hole. Let's feel how cold this water is. Not terrible. I mean, it's water. The air is definitely colder.
Yeah.
Oh, -12, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Fahrenheit.
It feels that way.
The sun has already set, and in about an hour and a half, it'll be pitch black for the next, 16 hours?
Why you gotta remind me like that, man? It's funny how you get two different Alaskas. Right now, this is what Chino Lakes looks like now. Summertimes they rent out kayaks and canoes and paddle boards, and it's an entirely different scene.
The sky is just remarkable.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, whether it's sunset or not, the color gradient.
So we are gonna head to Chatanika Lodge, which is a Fairbanks staple, you would say, later tonight.
Oh, yes.
But first,
We've got to go see Santa Claus.
do you think interior Alaska would be the same if it wasn't so cold?
No. We have similar mindsets that exist in southern Alaska where it's not as cold. Like Kodiak or something like that. They're salt of the earth just like us.
This is a U-Haul station.
Yeah.
So do people get U-Hauls and move all the way down to the lower 48 and vice versa?
Oh, absolutely. If we're all transplants, we all had to have a vessel, right?
So you drove the Alcad when you moved here?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Been all over the country. It's the best road trip in the country.
I'd
Or on the
imagine.
continent, probably.
Well, yeah, most of it's not in the country.
Right. If I were to list off my top 20 favorite views, just from a natural view, 12 or 15 of them are in Canada on the Alcan. Here's Santa Claus house. And just you get the...
Welcome to Santa Claus's house. And so Santa's in here.
Oh, definitely. You wanna go say hi?
Yeah. Oh, I think that's the biggest Santa I've ever seen.
It's the biggest Santa anybody's seen. It's the biggest Santa statue known to exist.
Oh, are you turning your car off this time?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
been
wow.
warm long enough. I think we'll be good. Plus, if we break down, I can get it started here.
101 St. Nicholas Drive, North Pole, Alaska. So which part of winter do you enjoy more, the holiday section or the getting into February, March section?
I enjoy them all for different reasons. The holiday section is cool because we have more people up here to share the things with. But then in the spring, the tourism is cooling off, but the days are getting longer.
Yeah.
And it's getting a little warmer. In like April, we can enjoy all the same winter things, except it's sunnier and warmer. They stay pretty
So
active.
do you think I will see a moose before I leave? Like,
I hope so.
there's
I
a
hope
high
you do.
chance.
There's a high chance. I hope you get to see one. I see Santa's around here.
Oh, Santa's right here. Oh, I don't think he's here.
Oh no!
He's off gathering presents.
He's probably just on a break or something.
Yeah, this is fun. And so this place has been around a long time.
Yeah. You see a real caribou.
Yeah.
Hey, booty. This is the old part. The rest of it.
Oh, there's a little cafe.
Yep. Got fudge.
Fairbanks is here. We are here.
It's about halfway to Naughty Shop.
And so that's even past the Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just Delta Junction's the next like decent size town.
Right, and that's smaller.
Maybe 500 people.
Let's probably say 1,000. You see these scraggly spruces, they don't look like much, but they're one of the first things to repopulate after a wildfire, and because their pine cones are
Are
covered
there
in sap.
wildfires up here?
Oh, we lose more acreage to wildfires in Alaska than
Really?
the rest of the country combined. But these scraggly little black spruces, they don't need much room for a root ball, so they can grow on spots where the permafrost is closer to the surface. And they look scraggly and insignificant, but after they burn, those pine cones drop and the fire cooks the sap off the cones and it releases the seeds, which brings the wildlife back, because you figure moose like to eat on those. And then once the moose fertilize the ground, then you have smaller things and that'll grow, and then you'll have smaller animals that'll come eat it. And where you have smaller animals, you eventually have medium animals, and when you get medium animals, you eventually get larger animals. So it's cool to see how the ecosystems grow back after that. We think of wildfires and floods as disasters, but that's just
a cycle.
That's the way that the earth cleans itself and regrows.
Honestly, with how long the sunrise and sunset is, technically there's only 4 hours of daylight, but you really get like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
right?
it's our nightlight for a while. It's not quite as terrible as you think. All right, this could be an absolute fail, but we're gonna try it.
Oh, driving up this.
We're good.
Is this the highway?
No, way better. This is what I was bringing you to see. Wow. Hop out. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
shot.
this is amazing.
So Fairbanks had a really bad flood a couple decades ago, and they built this so that if the Chena were to back up and flood again, this is where it would contain. Perfect time for sunset there.
Yeah, no. I mean, this sunset's gonna be an hour, right?
Yeah, it'll be a while.
What an absolutely magical place.
So sometimes what happens if you get a log jam with the ice, or it melts too fast or whatever, it'll flood, and they built this to make sure it didn't happen again.
Yeah. This backdrop just kind of sums up even more than what I would have imagined Alaska like. Growing up, I saw photos, you see videos, and you're like, oh, I want to go there. That's the real wilderness.
Same.
And now just like actually being here, it's even more wild and rugged and untamed.
Yeah, so before you went to LA, you probably had this preconceived notion of what Hollywood was, and you get there like,
Yeah, it's a little different.
a little different. This is what you see as Alaska in pictures and postcards. It's not changing. This is what you get when you get here. It'll look like this in 100 years. That's the cool thing about it. It's not changing anytime soon. There's still gas stations up on Farmers Loop that rent DVDs. So like in the not changing aspect of it, there's a resistance to progress. It's not just fighting against eminent domain. It's just like, you know what? Things are fine. Sure, living in a dry cabin doesn't sound sexy or fun. For the folks that live that lifestyle, it's just a commitment to minimalism. Wi-Fi is nice to have. That's another fee. Netflix chart, that's another fee. You keep adding these up, that's more reasons to go to work. Most unencumbered I've ever felt is right after we sell all of our stuff and we're ready to move into the next phase. It's anxiety inducing. You're like, oh man, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? We need to plan for this, we need to do that. But we've done it 3 or 4 times now where we sell 90% of our crap. Oh no, I paid X amount for this, I can't just let it go. Then you let it all go and you're like, all right. Once you cut those ties, you realize how frivolous consumerism is. You didn't need those things.
Yeah.
Somebody said instead of talking about dollars, you talk about hours. Like that cost X hours. The guy that I bartered the lynx hide
Always
from,
about the bartering.
always the bartering. I love it. The guy that I got that lynx hide from, his name is Jeremy. Lived up at Yukon camp. Lived off the land, hunted and trapped, and he'd come into town and he'd barter him. He used to drive Arctic Circle tours up there, and I'd bring people into his little hut where he'd sell some of his wares. He's getting to husk his wares, and they're getting to see proper Alaska. We brought a tour in there. Nobody was being mean. It was just conversation and perspective building. One of the ladies had asked to explain his day. He says, I wake up and I stoke the fire because overnight it's going to die down a little bit. Once you do that, you go outside, you get a couple pots of snow and put them on the stove and then make his coffee. He said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that you have to stoke a fire, build a fire, get snow, melt the snow just to make your coffee in the morning? He said, yeah, it's just what I do. A little while later in the conversation, a woman asked her where the bathroom was, and I get to see Jeremy, this haggard dude in the Yukon, explain to a woman how and where to use the outhouse, who's probably never seen one. She was just as perplexed with the idea of using an outhouse as she was about cooking snow for coffee. And he said something that I've sat with for a long time. It may seem crazy from your perspective that I have to cook snow to make coffee and build a fire and use an outhouse. But from my perspective, you spend 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, 50 weeks a year, 40 years of your life so that you don't have to do those two things. He said, cooking snow takes me 20 minutes. Using the outhouse takes a couple minutes. But you'll work 8 hours a day to not do those two things. I was like, that's perspective. She wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. Neither one of them was wrong or right. They just had different perspectives.
Yeah.
I think she came away from that with a little bit of perspective. It was really neat. Well, they might just be watching like we are. My bad.
Oop.
No, you stopped.
They're stuck?
No, you just got to reposition. You just stopped when you shouldn't have.
Oh, they went all the way down.
Looks like they're just hanging out too. Maybe gonna burn out some donuts or something. You getting to see this? That's usually the answer to how do you deal with this? Come here, we'll show you.
We started the day off, I was like, it's not that cold. Like, it's like the temperature says it's cold, but it's not that cold. It's starting to feel really freaking cold now. It's not that cold in Alaska, said, oh, black coffee.
So this is the Alaskan Air Force Base?
Wainwright's closer to Fairbanks, so we see more of them in town.
Is Wainwright what type of military?
Wainwright is Army, Alaskan's Air Force.
Yeah, it's crazy just how far we are from everything. Like, this is a solid 30-minute drive, and we're already out of the sticks. Then you go past us, and you really are just out of the sticks.
When you leave civilization here, you have left civilization. It's not like there's no next town most of the time. This is what most of the rest of Alaska looks like. You can drive thousands of miles like this, one lane each direction, wide shoulders and trees. This turns into the Alaskan Highway.
Okay.
Yeah. To Montana, most of that road looks just like this. And this is the naughty shop. This is a proper little American place.
Well, there's a lot of places like this on the highway, right? There's like no town.
Absolutely. Lots of little outposts. Remnants of the old roadhouses.
And this place even smells like Alaska.
Those are native knives that Ulus are.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So the natives have been using those for skinning seals. So for our purposes, they're really good at cutting pizza. Yeah, the Santa Claus shop is a lot more marketing budget. This is more Alaska.
Yeah, this feels and looks Alaska.
Wolverine up here, those suckers.
Yeah, those things are vicious.
Alaskan honeybags.
It is now 4:17 p.m. The sun is fully set. It's minus 30.
That tracks.
Why do you live here again?
I'm on the run from the law. I'm a fugitive.
Yeah, it's crazy. The sun set 2 hours ago. It's almost 5.
This is rush hour traffic in North Pole, Alaska.
I think the crazy thing is we're driving downtown right now. It feels like it's 3 in the morning.
It's 5 p.m.
So people don't really come downtown.
Unless you need to. A lot of times you see more tourists here than locals.
Other than Costco, is there like a main place you would bump into people you know?
Liquor store. Freddy's. Fred Meyer's.
Like most people, they chill at their house, come out somewhere.
People are like, I bet you stay in the cabin when it's cold. No, we don't. There's always things to do. And that's the way that you fight off the depression, is to just stay doing things.
Before we head to Chatanika Lodge, there is one more spot we are going to stop at. This is Pioneer Park.
Pioneer Park is neat. It's not a reproduction. This is a village of pioneer houses made by the original settlers here. All these little villages have shops and they open them up in the summer. Some of them are open in the winter, but they all show the history of the pioneer lifestyle.
So is this like an old church here?
Yes, sir.
It's all lit up and Christmasized.
This is a train car. Looks like they get the lights lit up in there. That Warren G. Harding rode on that train.
It's an old boat?
Yes, sir. an old riverboat.
So this would go on the Tanana River.
Yes, sir. Canada. It's really cool to see the inside of it. It's really gnarly.
Oh, this thing's actually kind of big.
Yeah, it's cool. This isn't pretending to be something. This is what it was, just put together. What if you donated your family's cabin?
Yeah,
My
that's a bathroom.
built this with logs on the land, and they turned it into a shitter. It's cool in the fall when we're transitioning. You get a great sunset, and then 20 minutes later you get a really good sunrise.
Oh yeah. And so your sleep schedule's all over the place.
Crash.
Is that most Alaskans? In the summertime at least nobody sleeps in the winter, maybe people
so that's the
hibernate a
flip
little.
side. The circadian rhythm is, obviously it's 5:32 and it feels like it's 9 p.m. Oh, that was definitely a bumper thumper. Ooh, that took the bumper off. That was a good one.
So now we are going to head up to the Chatanika Lodge, which is a
proper Alaskan dining experience,
and learn a little bit about life on the edge of Fairbanks.
Hardest part about living up here is the remoteness. It's not being able to be at home. You have this mentality like things are supposed to stay frozen elsewhere. Like when I go home and I see my friends' kids and I see nephews and nieces, they're supposed to be the same size as when I left, but they're not. And you realize I've been up here in isolation, but then you go back to it, it's like going through a time machine. And it's tough. Like now I've been out of high school for 25 years, so every year or so I get a phone call, hey, such and such died. It's like, well, I can't just get there. I got stuff, and it's a big undertaking. It's 2 4-hour flights. It's a big thing to get home.
Yeah.
It's got to be the same for people that live just on the other side of the country, sure, but I feel like there's an isolation factor up here, and it may be self-induced. Wow. Gnarly cheese.
Yeah, look at that moon. And 40 minutes later, this is the Chatanika Lodge. Hey there. How you doing? Oh, wow.
Oh, welcome in, man. Welcome in. Originally, it was made in 1975. So it was like a convenience store with gas stations.
So it was just like a roadside stop,
Yes,
basically.
at one point. So they had pumps and stuff. And then originally, this place burned down. Then in '81, they opened the bar and they added on to the building.
And then, the big thing is everyone leaves $1, right?
Yeah,
with their name on it. Kim, Mango, nice to meet you.
yeah.
You're the owner.
Me and
You and him.
Alex
20
is
of
my
them.
son. Ryan is somewhere. He's my other son. Jeremiah and Trip are Alex's friends that moved up with us. My in-laws moved up also. And then Kanai over there just came over from Arizona.
Are you from Alaska originally?
No, no, I'm actually from Georgia. We lived here 2020. My husband got a job at Denali National Park, fell in love with Alaska. We're military background, so equate Alaska to that. It's like a community where everybody actually cares. If something is wrong, they're going to help. Like you're taken aback at first, like is it a real thing? But it's 100% like a magical place. It's really.
And that's your favorite thing about Alaska, you'd say?
Absolutely. I mean, nobody likes being negative 30. It's not like, yay! But you get to hang out with cool people. Chatanika used to be bigger than Fairbanks. This is where all the people were.
Because it's right by the gold mine,
The gold,
right?
and then they were like, well, I guess we're done. And they just left. And all the people that stayed, if this place closed, what do they have? Nothing.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Nice Alaska lodge style, right?
It's just a quick, it was like a house. People would come, their car would break down, door would be unlocked, they would come in, they would sleep. Safe place to be. Back there is the rooms, there's 11 rooms. This will be opened back up by the spring. And so many people come in, tell you a different story of, oh, I remember when this place was this, or my kid who's 24 did this here. And it's like, that's so cool.
I don't ever remember hearing like advertisement for things going on. It was always the locals that knew the place, loved the place. They kind of kept it their little place. It's the best kept secret in the interior for sure.
Yeah, the old owners owned it for 40 years, right? 50 years.
For the whole, He had it with his brother. They came up here and
That's 80% of Fairbanks.
Yeah,
We all
that's-
migrated up here to do a thing.
Yeah.
right, it's cool. He passed away 3.5 years ago. She was here after he passed, doing it by herself, 84 years old. I had to bring 9 people. Alaska makes strong people. There was a gentleman who he was lost, called a Silver Alert. They found his Jeep and he wasn't there. He was missing for 3 days. He was 88 years old. When they found him, he had no shoes on. He was fine. Like, he was like, okay, well, I don't need this fanfare. His daughter flew in from Washington State. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I just need to get my Jeep out. He came here to eat. And he's like, I'm fine.
So do you guys enjoy the cold?
I mean, it's not particularly favorite thing, but
I don't know how the dollars started.
Have you ever counted how many there actually are?
There's money back from 1974.
Oh, you got like an old arcade machines.
Yeah.
Are these from like the 80s actually?
Some of them are. I've never seen a game like this. I had people message me on Facebook, is the bubble machine still there? And
I
I'm
remember
like,
these when I was a kid. I've
I
played
don't-
a very long time.
well, and then through this area, it used to be open, and that's where Ron had these really cool cars. nothing wrong with cookie cutter, but you lose all the personality, you lose all the uniqueness. I mean, nothing about this place is squared.
Yeah.
It's like Alaskans.
Yeah, some of the ceilings are really low.
Yeah,
Some of the ceilings are really
this
high.
one.
A little wonky, but they're good. Got good bones.
And it's a great place to see the lights.
Yeah, well, that's what he was saying. So you see yourself being here a long
Forever.
time?
Oh, yeah. My parents are moving up next spring.
Really? So you're
My dad's 80.
Kanai, he works at the Chatanika Lodge. You just moved here October the 1st of this year.
Yes, I did.
And so what have your first impressions of the last 2 months in Alaska been?
It's great here. Everyone says that it's way too cold for them. I don't believe that. The humidity is super low here. There's plenty of snow, so there's plenty of things to do. Snow machining, skiing if that's your thing. I haven't been able to do a whole lot of it just yet because this year it's a little bit warmer, so not as much snow's down. The people are great. The lights are super pretty.
What made you decide to move here in the first place? You're from New Jersey or?
Yeah, I lived in New Jersey all my life. It was June, I left. And I spent 3 months in Arizona in the Grand Canyon, and then I came here. I wanted to get out and see places. I mean, I've been in New Jersey for a very long time. Small town. It's like there's 50 other states. Why not go out and see places?
Why not go all the way to the farthest?
Yeah, exactly.
Most
Why not go to the
state?
farthest reaches of the earth?
You see yourself being here a long time.
100%. The people are great here, and the job is awesome too. It pays well. I go in my backyard, and there's lights that no one else can see.
So you think you'll still be saying this after he gets down to negative 40, negative 50?
100%. Yeah. Like I said, people say it gets really cold. It's not that bad when you're prepared. You know?
So the darkness also, that's not
a problem. Now, where I come from, that's a little weird because everyone loves the sun. Me personally, I've always been more partial to like overcast, darker skies. When I came here and it got super dark, I was like, this is awesome. I love this time.
Okay. And so would you say that most people that move to Alaska, they're not quote unquote normal?
I've heard different opinions. Me personally, I love it, and I have met other individuals that are kind of like that too, and they're like, yeah, that's why we like it here too. And I was like, oh, sweet.
So you live at the lodge?
Yeah, I live at the lodge.
And so it's about 40 minutes to Fairbanks. How often do you actually go to Fairbanks?
I try to go about now once a month just to do some minor grocery shopping. But if the guys are like, hey, we want to go out and do stuff, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll come with.
So you really would just like enjoy as
Here.
remote, like you could see yourself living like in an off-grid homestead one day.
100%. You know, I could be off-grid with a dog and be fine. That old guy on the fan, like, get off my lawn. You know, like that could be me.
Wow. So only once a month to Fairbanks.
Yeah, once a month.
So you've been there twice since you moved here.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I guess as a younger person, would you even consider dating up here?
Dating has been really weird because this is another one of the reasons I left was I was engaged for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It didn't work out, but I like to say that I'm open-minded to dating, but I'm not actively seeking it because I like to kind of work on what's around me and in front of me, living on my own and doing things on my own and enjoying that while it's here. Because once you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship.
What would you say is the main thing you want to do while you're in Alaska?
Hike. I started hiking when I was in the canyon a little bit. It's a really good workout. It's almost like walking. You're just going up hills. I think that the nature here is so cool and pretty that like I want to hike as much as possible.
Have you had a welcome to Alaska moment yet?
Yeah, actually. When I first got here at the lodge, I seen like what we were working with officially, how busy we can get. It was like, wow. You know, like this is here.
So just the amount of people here was the most extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I was like this is insane. Like this is a better turnout than I expected. And then it only gets better with like the summer and stuff when people really come here. So I was like, I'm really looking forward to it.
When you first arrived here, there was already snow on the ground October the 1st.
Yeah, at the lodge.
Fairbanks it wasn't yet because it's lower elevation, but then you were just saying it gets colder at the lower elevation later, but then it gets even colder at the lower elevation overall.
Bingo. So in town is below the ice fog, so it gets a lot colder down there. And when you're driving up the mountain, you can see the temperature ticking down when it's super cold. So as you're coming up the hill, you'll start off in town and be like negative 25, negative 30. And as you're coming up the hill, you'll see negative 15, 12. We just did that today. It was negative 30 in North Pole and negative 20 in Fairbanks, negative 15 on this side of Fairbanks. So by the time we get up here, it's negative 9. That gets more drastic when it's like negative 40 and you come up here and it's 15, 20 degrees
Things
warmer.
you only have to worry about at Fairbanks.
Officially never knew anything about a heat inversion before coming to Fairbanks.
So we are currently about 25, 30 miles from Fairbanks. USPS mail Amazon Prime is actually delivered here.
Yeah, see?
Wow. Amazon.
Yeah, these are our neighbors up the road.
So this is everyone in like circle too? It would get mail here?
If they want to, yeah. And FedEx comes here, and the trash. So.
Oh yeah. How do you guys do trash?
How many dumpsters do we have? 5? So they brought dumpsters to let them have their dumpsters here, the county people to drop their trash because they'll come out to get it for us.
So they pick it up for you?
But people from up the road will come down and that's where
They all dump it. It's a community trash and
Yeah.
mail here.
Yeah.
Anything you would expect a town to provide, we're kind of the last spot.
Yeah.
And then whatever we can share with others,
but it's the same deal.
I already felt like Fairbanks was the edge of civilization. This is like the edge of the edge, yeah.
Exactly. You can choose a direction. You're like, do I want a town or do I want nothing? You know?
It's now the following day. Tony's brother Christopher is actually going to pick me up in just a little bit to take me up to Chena Hot Springs. But I really enjoyed my time at the Chatanika Lodge yesterday. Me and Tony ended up staying till around 11 p.m. just chatting it up with the people who live and work there. People who have moved from pretty much all over the country to Alaska for a multitude of different reasons. But since most people weren't actually born here, they chose to move here. It means that even though it's cold, even though it's dark, everyone actually wants to be here. Don't get me wrong, it is a very different way of life. I mean, it's 2:30 p.m. and the sun is already setting. It will not rise again for, what, 17, 18 hours? But before we head to the hot springs, I know some of you are probably wondering what the cost of groceries and other goods is like as we pass this high water mark. Damn, so the Chena River flooded this high in 1967. But yesterday I actually went to Fred Meyer West. There are two Fred Meyers in town, one in the whole big box store area with Costco, another one on the west side of town, and its prices really aren't that crazy.
This Fred Meyer's, Fred West, was the largest area-wise and highest grossing store in the entire Kroger subsidiaries.
Wow. Does Alaska kind of embody that Texas mentality of everything bigger?
Everything's bigger
This
here.
is a big Fred Meyer.
We'll let Texas have their moment.
Oh, this is a massive Fred Meyer. Fruit, this is the big one. Pineapple chunks, $8. Grapes, we are looking at $8.50. Wow.
Out in the village, it's more expensive. When I was in Bethel, a watermelon was $35.
On sale, $2.50 per pound of apples. It's not terrible, actually. How much are avocados?
No, it's not that bad.
Okay, that's actually used to $1 per avocado.
Oh, no. Yeah. Dangerous game here. You got like 5 minutes to eat that avocado and then they're overripe.
Oh.
No, fresh.
They're all like
Such a narrow window.
What's like one item that's a lot more expensive here?
Rent. No, the vegetables. Veggies are the steepest curve, I think.
Alaska grown potatoes.
They do a good enough job. If you shop the sales and get things when they mark them down, it's manageable.
Bag of onions, $5.50.
A little bit higher than other places, but not terrible. I think you're right. We check out the meat costs.
Campbell's soup, $1.59. It's top ramen, $2.20. Stuff like oats is $7, $9.50, $10 for a chuck roast, $18 for this cut of meat. Burgers, you're looking at $11 for just ground beef. Are there any of these animals like raised in Alaska? Is this all shipped down?
Nope, this all comes up the highway.
$9 for 12 drumsticks. And so is this common? Some item just completely sold out?
Yeah, I think it's when they do these markdowns, a lot of people come and scoop it up.
Yeah.
We've got 2 large chest freezers and the freezer attached to the refrigerator, and they're all full.
Tortillas?
Gotta have those.
$4. Oh, how much is milk here? $10.50 for milk? Okay, that's a lot more.
Yeah.
$7 for a half gallon. $7 for a half gallon of milk.
Yep, dairy allergies for the win. We don't drink much milk.
And even oat milk, this is $5 in the lower 48. $7 here. But we are on the way to the Chena Hot Springs. It's about 60 miles to the east of Fairbanks. Springs were discovered in 1905 by the gold miners Robert and Thomas Swan. They built the modern day resort in 1911. And today there's also a Aurora Ice Museum, which has beautiful ice sculptures. And I've now declothed. This is the way to the actual Chena Hot Springs. It is already very, very cold, even though I have these walls protecting me from the wind. Probably below minus 20 Fahrenheit. I believe Chena Hot Springs is often much colder than actual Fairbanks. Let's hold on to this railing, which is literally just snow. That is so nice. Oh! All right, let's put the whole body in. I believe these hot springs are supposed to be 106 degrees Fahrenheit. That is certainly a welcome change from the air temperature.
There are spots that are much hotter too. If you go on that back spot, it gets hotter.
Okay. Usually when I go in a hot spring, I feel like the water temperature is too hot and I have to jump out of the water. It is well below minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I have never seen this contrast before, where literally all of the steam that gets up onto the rock, it just freezes instantaneously. I have not dipped my head under the water, by the way. The tips of my hair are frozen just from the steam, but this is literally heaven on earth. An actual 120 degree temperature swing, y'all. Minus 20 to over 100. Interior Alaska is a land of extremes. and I love it. I'm now at the Fairbanks airport about to fly out, and as you can see, it's actually really large for a city of only 32,000 people. There is a taxidermied polar bear. I would not want to mess with one of these guys. Look at that. Now, I'll first be flying to Seattle, which is the only year-round nonstop destination from Fairbanks in the lower 48 states. But there are also seasonal flights to Portland, Minneapolis, Chicago, Denver, and even in the winter, there are 6 flights per day to Seattle. There's actually 6 gates at this airport. So yes, Fairbanks is far from everything, but it really isn't that cut off from the rest of the country. I just got back from meeting a gold miner named Curtis who lives completely off grid in the Alaskan interior, however. So leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week from his homestead.
Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. Testing 1 2. Testing.